Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to the ECL Season 6 Qualifier number 7. Today we are actually going to be competing for the last two spots, so we are going to be slightly condensing the season. Got some scheduling stuff coming up in the next couple weeks. So today's qualifier is going to be a little bit special in that the top two, so both individuals who make it to the grand finals, will be qualifying for the big epic tournament. So it should be quite a bit of fun. Taking a look at the tail of the tape so far, we can look at our top 8 so far. These are the individuals who have qualified so far. In Season 6, we have Falcon, Alfredinho, Imperator, Ice Power Total War, Void Laws, and Anticity, of course, qualifying last week. The last two spots, number 7 and 8, will be decided today. So our champions will be dueling it out for those spots. And then from there, we're going to be scheduling the grand final, which should be quite a bit of fun. Probably will be sometime in the middle or end of June. We'll have to play it by ear and kind of see what's going on, but should be good. Should be good indeed. Welcome, welcome. As far as today's tail of the tape goes, we're still waiting for just one more player to make it to the top 4 here so we can get our first match started, but yeah, certainly looking good. So far, we've had 2 individuals make it to the top 4, so we can take a look at those champions of the old world. Here they are in all of their glory. So you can see here we do have Pugnobon on the top side of the bracket, who has made it, and on the bottom we have Xiphos. The top side, let's go ahead and see who he could potentially be facing. So Pugnobon is going to be facing off against the winner of AC Moore and Samurai of Clan Han. And then on the bottom side, we have Hadres and Biblington battling it out in a best of 3 to see who will be facing the King of Elves, Xiphos. So that is more or less the tail of the tape for the day. And now we can just kind of hang out, enjoy each other's company for a couple minutes while the players wrap things up and get ready, and we'll go from there. Yes, yes. What does everybody think about the Scarbrand leak? Well, you know, honestly, Scarbrand was my prediction not a long time ago, but I think when we did the Khorne prediction, I mean, he's like kind of the big apex of like Khorne demons, right? So probably going to be him, maybe Kukoth Plaguefather, or if they want to get a little bit spicy, they could use Rotigus, because, you know, there's all that crossover. Even though Rotigus is from Age of Sigmar, I wouldn't be surprised if they just threw him in there. For Tzeentch, we have Kairos Fateweaver. You know, there's a couple, you know, a big name demon pretty much for all of the old school fantasy demon factions. So yeah, it's going to be great. I'm very excited for the grand finals of ECL Season 6. Very, very hyped to see what the players have in store. And yeah, it's going to be great, man. No intro today, that's right. We haven't done intros in quite some time. I had some issues where even though I was using game soundtracks, I was getting like these weird like copyright issues here and there. So, you know, it is what it is. I just kind of decided to cut it for now. Perhaps someday I'll do one with like Hall of the Mountain King. I think that would actually be really good. Yeah. Soothsayer, yeah, I think Soothsayer qualified. Let's go and take a look again. No, actually, no, he didn't. I don't think he even attempted to qualify this season. He's been pretty busy. So these are the 8 individuals or the 6 who have qualified so far out of the 8 spots that we do have. But yeah, I do not believe Soothsayer even tried to qualify this season. I think he's had a lot of stuff going on and has been quite busy. So yeah, I'm sure we'll see him back, especially when ye old Warhammer 3 comes out. I think there's going to be a big resurgence in terms of seeing a lot of OGs come back and get back into the game, because it'll be very fresh and fun. Very excited to see what domination mode looks like. That's probably the thing I'm most excited for. Obviously, multiplayer is my jam. Again, I'm going to be hitting campaign pretty hard as well, but domination mode is very, very spicy. Yeah, Hall of the Mountain King I think would be a good introduction. Like actually editing together a video with that. Yeah, it'd be pretty fun. Some cool cinematics and things like that. Who's going to be the legendary lord for Slaanesh? You know, Slaanesh is the one chaos god I don't know that well. Like, I honestly don't even know who the big named demon was for Slaanesh. I know the other ones, I just don't know that particular faction. Is it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat can answer. I'm sure there's some folks who played Warhammer Fantasy and do remember that. Personally, myself, I'm a little bit out of the loop in that regard. Everything's going good, Alec. Thanks for asking. We're getting ready to go. Tomorrow, we might do another stream. The Legendary Lords Tournament, we have completed the initial round of the round of 16, so we might be doing that tomorrow via replays. And then during the week, we'll be, of course, doing Warcraft 3 streams and all sorts of good stuff like that. So what would you recommend for a Sigvald body challenge in 30 days? To get as jacked as Sigvald in 30 days? Well, you probably have to do some shady stuff, that's for sure. You know, worship some dark gods, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Yeah, let's see. Slaanesh will... Okay, yeah, some folks in chat. I have no idea how to say that. It's probably the starting one. Got it. Yeah, I mainly, in my tabletop army, for taking a look over here at my shelf, of miniatures. I have obviously a Death Guard army, so I have a pretty big Nurgle force. I have a Death Guard army. I have a whole batch of Nurglings and some Nurgle demons, mainly just like the heralds and things like that. Not like that big of a collection, but my Chaos Space Marine force, I have a fair amount of Khorne stuff. So it's Black Legion, but I also have a big batch of Khorne Berserkers I'm working on, teamed up with, of course, a couple Demon Engines and things like that. So he asks, am I getting surgery in June? Yeah, I am actually on June 5th or 3rd? June 3rd, yeah. So pretty soon, this next coming week. The problem I had in my right hand, it was always been worse in my right hand. I got that fixed last July, but it's getting progressively worse in my left. I basically have like a genetic thing where my nerves kind of get impinged in my wrist and elbow. So I'll just get it in my left and I'll be good to go. This will be much easier than the last one though, because there's not as much drama going on. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. It looks like we do have our match, perhaps. We will see. No, not quite yet, unless one of them just finished right now, so we'll check in. Should be starting within 5 minutes or so, which is fine. We'll let some folks gather. That should be all good. Jumping into the lobby here to see. I think we're probably going to have Xiphos versus the winner of Biblington and Hadres first. I think that match had been going for a while. Yeah, Khorne, I actually really like Khorne's playstyle on tabletop. I really do like just kind of the Berserk charge. Khorne Berserkers are really fun too. You get 2 activations to fight. And I've always enjoyed melee quite a bit. For my fantasy army, I of course have the Empire, mainly Demogryph Knights. I have like 9 Demogryph Knight models. Only 5 of them are painted right now, still working on a couple more. Yeah, Undivided too. Undivided is probably just going to get, what's his name, Be'lakor. Because we just got a big Be'lakor model, in 40k and in fantasy. So, and the model's great too. So if they just model it after that, it's going to look pretty good. I wonder if Chaos Warriors faction will remain. Yeah, for sure, they will. It's just going to be Chaos Undivided. So it will probably just have like Be'lakor. They'll add a couple new models, including like basic Furies and a few other things. And, there's still a couple things missing from the generic Warriors of Chaos roster. So they'll 100% get some new stuff. They'll probably have like a mark system too, where you can give like lesser marks. So like obviously you have Chaos Warriors of Khorne, right? They're going to have like this frenzy and whatnot. I have a feeling that you'll be able to go to Undivided and give them like basic marks. So they won't be like as good as the specialist ones, but they give you a little bit more diversity and you can mix and match the marks. I hope that's how they do Chaos Undivided. I think that would be very, very cool. That'd be neat. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens though, man. I'm just excited to get my hands on some battles. I just really want to play a battle. I mean, we got to play it against the AI, but the AI is just like a potato, right? So I want to fight. I want to hunt the most dangerous game. I want to battle some other players. I have a whole 40k army to finish, says David. Yeah. I'm sure many of us in here have piles of shame sitting in our rooms, just sitting there accruing dust. Yeah, I got a little bit of a pile of shame. I'm pretty good though. I'm very disciplined usually. I don't buy new stuff until I finish painting the most recent thing I had bought. That's like my number one rule. Hey Turin, Jay Phoenix says, hey, finished a Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay just in time to watch this. Yeah, the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay is pretty fun actually. I played a campaign with Sotek, and who was the DM, and then it was me, Lady Turin, Pone, and Italian Spartacus. It was super fun. I got to play a mighty dwarf, a mighty Dowie. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. It definitely felt like a little bit simpler than, D&D 3.5 was a pretty complex game compared to what you see in, because I'm currently playing a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign right now, and it's very simplistic compared to 3.5 of D&D. Do you know what the DLC will, I'm looking forward to it like you guys. Yeah, I don't know any details yet, but hopefully we'll hear something soon. I mean, I just hope that we get something for the Beastmen. The Beastmen just, it was really funny. So this morning on Games Workshop had a big release, right? I don't know if you guys saw this, but we can actually sit and look at this together if you guys want. But Games Workshop had a big release where they're like, hey, 3rd edition Age of Sigmar is coming. We have, new Sigmarines coming out in the box set. And then they also have on the other side a new orc swamp faction with orcs, like a swamp orc faction. They're really cool. Actually, I liked a lot of the models. They look very much like Lord of the Rings orcs, but right before they dropped it, it was the funniest thing. Right before they dropped it and revealed it on their stream, which had like 10,000 people watching, or maybe even more, one of the guys, the host, was like, oh, somebody in chat was like, oh, can you tell us like something to describe the box? And he's like, oh, beastly. Beastly, right? So there was all these people in chat who were like, "Oh yeah, the Beast of Chaos, Beastmen are getting some love. Hell yeah, Beastmen, Beastmen." And then like 2 seconds later, they show the trailer and it's just like the orcs, you know. And just there was like literally sad moves going on in chat on the GW stream. It was so funny. Just the Beastmen just getting nothing. I love it. You know, like the GW employee was like, "Oh, beastly," and everybody's like, "Oh, Beastmen," and then 2 seconds later, it's just like, "Oh, sad Beastmen sounds." Yeah. Pretty hilarious for sure. Pretty hilarious for sure. Yeah, I really do like the look of the new faction, though. They look pretty cool. Definitely awesome. Definitely awesome. Any unit you're super excited to see in Warhammer 3? Yes, the Great Unclean One. I'm so excited to see the Great Unclean One just rolling across the battlefield all slow and heavy. Yeah, that's something I'm very, very excited for. So yeah, guys, just waiting for the best of threes. For anyone just joining right now, this is the pre-game show. This is where we talk about our lives and how we're feeling, and we wait for the champions to get to the top 4. Isn't that funny, though? Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed the Empire build video. Yeah, the sad mooing sounds, I know. It's just so good. So EK says, "I won 95% of all your games with Empire after watching the Empire build video." I'm really glad that helped, man. Yeah, those builds are pretty good. They're tried and true. Most of them I've used in tournaments and against very solid players. There's a couple that aren't as battle tested, but for the most part, they are pretty good builds. Chase, that's weird. I don't know why your stream would be cutting out. I think you're the only one having that problem. Seems like everybody else in chat seems good. I don't see any connection issues on my end. It looks like we haven't dropped any frames. So, yeah, it's weird. I know. The Beastmen are just like so janky. But like, you know, why would Games Workshop want to prioritize Beastmen, right? Like in tabletop, they're just like, their model range is so antiquated and like they're so unpopular compared to other factions. It's just like, I don't know. You know what I can see them doing for Beastmen is just giving them like one named character and then just like there you go. Merry Christmas. Maybe update their battle tome or something, but they're very antiquated. All right, so the first match of the day, looks like we just wrapped it up, is going to be Hadres facing off against Xiphos. Certainly a fun matchup. So let me go ahead and tag those 2 players and get them in here. All right. Here we go. Versus Xiphos. Password is 1234. Let's do it to it. Yeah, the new Hobgoblins. I'm pretty sure I bet you that's what they'll look like when we eventually get them in Warhammer 3. All right, cool. So these 2 fine gentlemen are going to be joining. We can go ahead and update the brackets now. So let's head on over there and do that. So here we are. And we have Hadres on the bottom side, the champion of the Skaven. Remember, for today's competition, the individuals who make it to the finals both qualify. So all you have to do is win 1 match today, and then you get to qualify. Of course, there still is a small cash prize for winning overall today. All of my qualifiers have a small cash prize, and then, of course, the grand finals has a bigger one. But that is that. So we will see how this unfolds as we load into the lobby. It's going to be Xiphos versus Hadres. Players will need a minute. We're going to give Hadres a quick moment to get his bearings. Obviously, he just finished a very, very heated series where he won 2-1. So I would imagine he needs a hot minute to kind of take it easy. Hey, pretty cool to see Xiphos back in action. Of course, Xiphos is an ECL champion. One of the few people aside from the Dark Lord Felcon who has won an ECL. I think Flying Taco was the other gentleman who was able to win an ECL season a couple back. Now we can head on over to the battle screen and hang out. Thank you so much for the donation, Lundgren, for the 15. Thanks for hosting. Hey, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining. And now we have Xiphos facing off against Hadres here in our first match of the day. And we'll get going from there. Turn, would you ever be interested in doing a Total War 2 Shogun? You know, I might at some point go back and do like a Shogun battle. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Shogun was one of my favorite, Shogun 2 was one of my favorite Total War experiences of all time. So yeah, pretty hyped for that. Pretty hyped for that. Cool. So we got Hadres versus Xiphos. Let's adjust the nameplate here. He'll be joining in just a hot moment. And for the first map, we can do Oakenhammer. Oakenhammer is a good old faithful map. Hey, thanks for becoming a member, EK. Appreciate that. I will be working on another build guide this week. I'm not sure which faction we'll do next, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do like Vampire Coast or something. Although most Vampire Coast builds nowadays are just like double gunnery white and like bat spam. Hey, thanks for becoming a member, man. Really appreciate that. Biblington says, Turin, yeah, our series was pretty heated. Apparently Orion loses 1v1 to Morker. Ooh, Biblington. Sounds like a pretty ferocious fight. So the great Biblington in chat. It looks like he has a brown bear as his picture. A grizzly bear, perhaps. Just had the 2-1 series against Hadres. Just narrowly lost, apparently. Orion lost to Morker the Shadowgave. Orion does sometimes struggle to hit smaller targets, in my experience. Morker does heal, but so too does Orion. Orion got nerfed. What were the percentages on their health, out of curiosity? That sounds like a very interesting duel. Do you like historical Total War titles? Yes, I do. Shogun 2 is my all-time favorite in terms of historicals, and I really liked the original Rome. I played Rome 1 and Shogun 2. Those are the ones I probably put the most hours into outside of Total War Warhammer. Granted, I do prefer this. I prefer the fantasy element, but yeah, I do enjoy historical titles. All right, so the great Hadres is here. Good luck, have fun. Picks and bans, let's party. Cool, so the players will do their picks and bans here while we hang out, and then we'll get going. Yeah, Beastmen definitely need some love, but there's not really a point in doing a Beastmen guide yet until they, get updated, because they're probably just going to get new units and change drastically, so. I never played Rome 2. No, I never did. Any tips for Bretonia? Yes, if you want to play Bretonia, I highly recommend using the Fey-Enchantress and Paladins to protect her. It is very strong, and it's a very good anchor. It gives you healing, it's forgiving, it's extremely powerful. So Fey, double Paladin. And then, of course, you just bring, cheap infantry and adjust your knights based on what faction you're playing against. And also, don't underestimate field trebuchets. They're pretty good. Angry Centrifuge Bobby, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, and welcome to the stream. Life is good. We're going hard. We're going hard. Do you worry about the calcification of builds now that we are in the later stages of Warhammer 2? Feels like a lot of factions basically just have one build. Some factions are like that, but that's why the Empire is my favorite faction. There's literally like 4 to 5 competitive builds for like every single matchup that you can make work because they're so diverse. But yeah, there are some factions that have very stagnant builds, but that's not to say that off-meta builds can't work. That's one of the things that makes this game so rich in my opinion. But yeah, certainly we're at a point of a little bit of stagnation to an extent where it's like, it's been a while since there have been updates, but it's still, a great game. And aside from some issues and balance issues with the, the greenskins we've dealt with, but yeah, it's great. A Dwarf Guide, yeah, Dwarf Guide I could definitely do. Dwarves are one of my main factions, so I could definitely do that. So Biblington says, Turin, do you think Morker had about 75% and Orion ran away with 25? Oh, wow. That's pretty shocking. I wouldn't expect that. What probably a big factor is Biblington is that Morker does poison damage, if I'm not mistaken. So the poison probably really mitigated Orion's vigor and a bunch of other stats like that. All right. So let's see what they're saying. Yep, map set. Yes, map is set. So if you guys are interested in seeing some elvish action, this is the time. There's going to be some good times. When are you going to stream Warcraft 3 again? Probably tomorrow night. Or tomorrow afternoon. I might even do a daytime stream of that. So hang tight. Hang tight indeed. Do I think that Age of Sigmar will come in Total War as a Total War game eventually? Somewhere way down the road, if at all. I'm a firm believer that we are going to get Total War Warhammer 3, a major historical title, maybe one like crappy saga, and then from there we'll get Total War Warhammer 40k. Like it's got to be 40k next. It's just such a there's too much financial incentive not to do it. It has a huge inbuilt audience already. I think it's got to be 40k. All right, so Hadri's going Skaven. He's going with his strongest faction first, banning Wood Elves and the Warriors of Chaos here for the first match. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Wood Elves are a good ban for sure. Wood Elves are tough, especially with Xiphos on Wood Elves. And banning Chaos as Skaven. That's interesting. I'm trying to think what would be worse. I mean, I fear the Vampire counts more than Chaos, but even still, I think Hadres knows what he's doing. And Hadres has some really cool meta builds as well. Yeah, he's got some neat stuff. Oh, is that right? Are you sure Orion does magic damage? I think Orion only does magic damage with his javelin that he throws. I don't think he does it in melee. I'd have to check. What do you think about the 3K news? Yeah, it was kind of just overall seemed like it was just handled poorly, the whole situation. Personally, though, like 3K never caught my attention. I never was into it. So, I played like a campaign in 1 or 2 battles, but, I'm kind of out of the loop in that community. Like, I don't know a lot about the game and how many people are still playing it and that sort of thing. But yeah, it just seems like a weird situation overall. As long as they leave my Warhammer 3 be, just keep giving us this good stuff. I'll be good. Not counting Beastmen, what is your least favorite faction? You know what? I actually like playing as the Beastmen. I don't dislike them. My least favorite faction to play is probably Dark Elves. Yeah, I don't know why. I just don't like Dark Elves. All out of Gum 1. Thanks for becoming a member. The Dukes of Haggard are growing in numbers today. We already have 3 new members, and we haven't even had a battle yet. Man, we're going hard. Dude, guys, it's going to be 40K. Let's not mess around. Let's not mess around. Yeah, there's going to be a 40K game eventually. It would be so silly for both Games Workshop and CA to not pursue that route. Like, 100%. How will they mechanically do transports in a 40K Total War? Oh, it wouldn't be that hard, honestly. I mean, look, you already have that loose mechanic in the game right now. You have, let's say, a Necrofex Colossus. When it gets below 50% HP, a bunch of zombies jump out. When a Hellpit Abomination dies, a bunch of, rats come out. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to make a Rhino and you just click a button and a bunch of troops spawn in front of it or whatever. Or there's like a boarding action. It's really not that hard of a thing to do. I mean, in older Total War games, I believe you have that. Units manning artillery, units getting into siege towers and battering rams. Like, that's a super easy thing to do. I think for the 40K campaign map, you just kind of start small and expand out, just like they did in Total War Warhammer, right? So you start small, you expand outward. Yeah. Oh, all out of gum? For sure. It's going to happen, dude. It's going to happen. Like, my wager for the 40K title would be, if we do get it, like, probably 2024, 2025. So, like, 3 or 4 years from now would be my guess. How come 40K and AOS share units and factions? They only share demons. They only share the demons, if I'm not mistaken. So, and obviously chaos. Which makes sense because the Games Workshop's chaos faction, like chaos thematics, are very recognizable. So it would make sense that you would use a very strong branded piece for both IPs, right? So it looks like we're getting Coast. Xiphos is playing Coast. What planet are we on? This is weird. Okay, Xiphos is on Coast. Hadres is on Skaven. Very, very interesting here. Thanks again for joining, guys. I know we're a little bit late to get started, but it's all good. It allowed more people to get here, so folks won't miss the first game of the day. Yeah, 40K would be easy in my opinion. It would probably be planet-based, so the campaign map would be like space. And then, you would have like, let's say you're like traveling to another region or another planet and like you attack an enemy army in space. Suddenly your 2 armies are just fighting on a space station, or they're fighting on a Space Hulk docking bay. Like, it's all fluid, man. It would be so easy. Xiphos says, okay, Xiphos was going to pick Coast, and then he's like, God, I can't. So then he switches back to Norska. That's so funny. Yeah. Please, no gunbats, have mercy. Don't worry. It looks like he's going back to Norska, so we're going to get everyone's favorite Wolfric here, I'm sure. Look at what Hadri said. Don't want to lather yourself in rancid bat kiting. Oh my god, that's so funny, dude. I love it. Yeah, planets or settlements. The major planets like Ultramar for the Ultramarines would be your regional capital or whatever. Very similar to like Altdorf. It's so easy to do. Yeah, 40K is huge too because the amount of DLC they could get out of the 40K universe is insane. And it's a very like symbiotic relationship, right? You have Games Workshop benefiting from CA and CA benefiting from their releases too. So it's just like, yeah. Should be interesting. All right. So it looks like it's going to be Norska. We got Rats versus Norska. And let's see if we have the bottom side of the bracket yet as we get rolling here. Nope, not yet. Actually, it looks like Moore and Samurai are still in their game, so it's all good. We're letting them catch up. Your thoughts on Medieval 2? I didn't really play Medieval 2. I don't know why I missed the boat on that. But yeah, I've heard it was a great game, so I've certainly heard that. Why do we never see Norscan dragons? They're just a little bit... It's not that they're like uniquely bad. It's just the Frostworms. They have Frostbite, which is a really nice trait. But I don't know. They just don't like jive with many of the tactics of the rest of the faction. I think there's just more efficient ways to play. Misty, thanks for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes and Dukettes of Haggard. I appreciate that. Mechanicus faction in 40K. Yeah. Mechanicus, dude, there's so many. I just want to see a Death Guard army, just like Plague Burst Crawlers, like thundering these like mortar shots while like the infantry march through fire. It's like so metal. Can we bet whether or not Hadres Wolfrats will either win or lose the game? That's how this matchup goes. Wolfrat play is super important here. Wolfrats really do well against Skin Wolves, and Skin Wolves are like the main problem. So, something to think about. Something to think about. Is AOS better? So, personally, Peter, I've played both Age of Sigmar and 40k. I prefer 40k myself. I don't know if that's like some internal bias because I prefer the universe, but AOS has many intuitive things. Like its charge phase is very good compared to 40k. One thing I really dislike about AOS that I hope they fix in the 3rd edition is the double turns. I think double turns are just so toxic. It's so stupid. I've seen so many games where I'm like, oh, this looks like an even nice game, and then like some like super aggressive army just gets to steamroll you for 2 turns in a row before you can even fight back. It's just, yeah, I really dislike the double turns. But yeah, I really like 40k because I think it's like a more competitive game, and it has like, you know, a better tournament scene, as far as I can tell from an outside perspective of Age of Sigmar. But, you know, at least where I live, it has a really good scene for sure. Yeah, Death Guard are very metal. Yeah. Condom Wolves, yes, the Condom Wolves will be here. Probably at least 4 of them, loading into the first battle. These are, of course, 2 champions who have frequented my tournaments for quite some time. Yeah, AOS has a lot of intuitive things in terms of like basic gameplay, and the rules are very easy. Like I remember when I first started playing 40k, it took me a little bit longer to pick it up, but when I went to go like learn for like AOS, I literally like figured out the rules like within 1 game session. Yeah. What are we expecting for ogres in Warhammer 3? You know, I don't know much about ogre kingdoms. I was talking with Italian Spartacus about them a while back, and yeah, he was telling me they have like these like lead belcher dudes, like these guys with these like giant like cannons, and yeah, they can be cool. They can be cool indeed. All right, my friends, and here we are in the first battle of today's ECL Season 6 qualifier number 7 and 8. So the top 2 in today's stream will be qualifying for the ECL Grand Finals, and now we have Xiphos, the French Elf King. So he's got Throg. He does also have a Bale Fiend of Fire. Throg's pretty good here. Throg can fight the monsters. Certainly a little bit vulnerable to focus fire from like Warp Lightning Cannons and other things like that. But yeah, Throg can be a menace for sure. Front line's going to be basic Marauders backed up by 2 Condom Wolves. We do have a Skin Wolf Werekin here. And it looks like Throg the Troll King, a Famir Bale Fiend with Burning Head. No surprises there. Very, very standard, right? Quad Skin Wolf. Couple regenerating monsters. Horsemen for some poke against the Skaven monsters like Hellpits and things like that. Manticore and the Beast of Tashnar here in the back. Looks pretty good. Yeah, the Werekin is actually good. He's real tough to kill. The Werekin can definitely do some work. I've been seeing him more and more lately. I feel like the Werekin is making a bit of a comeback. Now if we take a look at Ikit's Zap Zap Cannon here, going to be leading the charge for Hadres, a little Game of Thrones tactic here as he leads his artillery in the battle here. Quite fun. But yeah, aside from that, looks like it's going to be Clan Rats. So a lot of Skaven players, since the nerf to Skaven Slaves, have made the transition to using Clan Rat battle lines. So Clan Rats, he actually has some natural Plague Monks. Censor Bears as well. Censor Bears, of course, can be a good secondary unit. I don't like using Censor Bears in the front line. I feel like the problem with doing that is that they tend to take too much shock damage. But if like something else takes the charge and then they follow up and kind of pile in, they can do a ton of work. And some people use them against Skin Wolves because they hit very hard. They do magic damage, and they also discourage. So they can break Frenzy and get rid of Skin Wolves pretty quick in the right circumstances. Plague Priest, Assassin, and it's going to be Skrulk Daddy. So Skrulk is actually coming in just with his items and his Discourage. He's also quite good against Skin Wolves. And we do have a Plague Priest who, again, is good against Condom Wolves. So Hadri's army very well developed to actually deal with a lot of Skin Wolves. And I think as far as Wolf Rats go, he does have 2 hiding in the bushes here. Very smart, because Skin Wolves will come around and flank. And if you pounce on them with 2 Wolf Rats, that is going to be very nice indeed. The artillery in the front, yes, a sound tactic indeed. Classic Game of Thrones. Man, what a disappointment Game of Thrones the last season was. I had such high hopes. And like in the beginning, there was like a glimmer of hope as well. It was kind of like, oh, all right. You know, my favorite character's still alive. You know, things are rolling. There's some cool epic kind of build up to these battles, like the Battle of Winterfell, and then it just all sucked. And it was just, God, why do they have to do us like that, man? They did us so dirty. We got done so goddamn dirty. Yeah, anyways, a discussion and rant for another day. Game of Thrones, what a tragedy, man. And it really like soured the legacy of it too, because so many seasons of that show were so good. Like all the early seasons were amazing, and like it even soured the like I read all the books, I loved them, but like it just left this sour taste in my mouth where it kind of like put this taint on the whole franchise for me. I don't know, it's such a shame because it was such good writing, and man, anyway, I can't get into this rant. I could just go down this. I could just keep going. Could you give some tips on Vampire Coast Legendary Campaign? Yeah, so you need to get these armies that are very like can take multiple armies without taking a lot of damage. So like artillery, Colossus, and use your single entities and summons to run interference without actually fighting their battle lines and then just blast them to pieces. That's how you do it. Yep. And that's that. Anyways, rant is over. Definitely looking like a nice army for Hadres, like I said. He's got the Poison Wind Mortars to deal with infantry and berserkers, Warp Lightning Cannon to deal with monsters in tandem with the Hell Pit Abomination. And yeah, there seems to be plenty of anti-infantry here. I mean, not Hadres, but Xiphos has almost nothing in the way of infantry. I mean, he's got like 4 Marauder units, so killing the monsters and the Condom Wolves with the magic damage from the Censor Bearers and the Clan Rat Spear attrition and all that sort of good stuff is quite strong. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Stay away from the darkness, Turin. Yeah, I know. I'm trying my best. There's a couple rants that you can get me on. If you get me on the Game of Thrones rant, that's one. I'm trying to think of the other big rant we usually have. Yeah, the Star Wars, the new Star Wars movie rant is another one too. All right, so Warp Lightning Cannons shooting into the Condom Wolves, and does take out one model. Certainly good. Basically models that can't be resurrected but do regenerate, like Stone Trolls and Condom Wolves. If you have something with like good stopping power, man, oh man, you can get some damage in there. Ooh, nice shot. That was a really good Warp Lightning shot. It hit the Balefiend as well as the XL Condom Wolf here, the Skin Wolf Werkin. Now it looks like Xiphos rushing forward very aggressively, overloading heavily on the eastern flank over here. I guess, yeah, it's kind of more the east side of the map. A little bit hard to tell when you're looking from these various angles, but mortars are shooting into the horsemen. Nice shots. Those are some very accurate Skaven mortars. Those guys have been training. They've been lifting some weights apparently. I guess that lifting weights probably has no bearing on the accuracy. They've been seeing their eye doctors. Yes, they've made sure to keep things in check here. Now, Liber One-Shoticus being used on the Feral Manticore. That's a very good play here by Hadres because it has the potential to lead to the rampaging of the Manticore. And then if it rampages, it's pretty much just fresh fish for the Hell Pit Abomination. So that was a really, really smooth Skaven play. Now the Feral Manticore is just kind of sitting here, and Hadres should be able to follow up with the Hell Pit Abomination. But the Norskins do collapse the Skaven Slaves, no surprise there, but that Feral Manticore with Rival Hide Talisman is getting prison shanked pretty good. Being stabbed by the Assassin as well as the Hell Pit Abomination. And the artillery, very, very safe back here as the Marauder Horsemen look to try and get in there to shut it down. That one man's core, not quite shattered, might come back later. And now the Condom Wolves of Xiphos are going to be moving in full force. But they're fighting Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, which actually do fire damage. Kind of a cool niche there. Hell Pit and Assassin holding back the tide as well. We have yet to see Hadres spring his trap of the Wolf Rats. So I'm curious how long he'll wait. Maybe some of the wolves will like come around the back and he'll ambush there. But we have yet to see him use his Wolf Rats. I think maybe a bit of a mistake not using them. I think at this point, the battle's already kind of developed, so the chances for ambushes have passed, and I think you need to bring those out to chase down the routing units where you can. Mortar teams for Skaven still fighting. Looks like they're shooting into the advancing Marauders. Manticore has come back online, and Balance of Power is a little bit Skaven favored. They've really done some heavy damage to the Norscan army, forcing back many of the troops. The Manticore's quite beat up, but the Condom Wolves are more or less okay. Manticore looked like it wanted to dive on the artillery, but Hadres did get the Clan Rats, and now they are going to be defending the artillery piece quite safely. Now, we do have the Death Star fight. So we have the Hell Pit Abomination fighting with these Skaven characters. It looked like there was going to be a Burning Head there. Definitely for Xiphos, you want to get the Burning Head on top of the Plague Monk Censor Bearers, because those Censor Bearers are actually doing a ton of damage against pretty much everything they encounter here. Now, have we seen the Wolf Rats used yet? It's either a tactical reserve situation from Hadres or just massive patience in the fact that those Wolf Rats aren't coming out. But this would be quite masterful for sure. If like Norska tries to flank here and get on top of the Warp Lightning Cannon, if those Wolf Rats collapse, man, that would just be destruction. But despite that, Hadres is winning, even without 1,000 gold worth of Wolf Rats being used. Here we do have Lord Skrolk and the Assassin. I really love the prevalence of all this like magic discouraged damage. Lord Skrolk, Plague Priest, Censor Bearers. That's all really adding up here in this battle and doing excellent work against the Norscan troops. And the Censor Bearers, are quite damaged, but I feel like they've done a pretty decent job. Probably not the craziest value accrued, but they are holding back and, by Skaven standards, are quite a resilient unit. Now, where are the Wolf Rats? It looks like they're still waiting in the bushes. A little bit unfortunate. Now I'm starting to believe that those are actually a dreaded tactical reserve. Hadri's probably very focused on, the combat here. And now the Hellpit Abomination's getting a little bit worn down. Now, like, if those Wolf Rats were able to come and, like, flank these Condom Wolves and these Marauders, that might actually just be GG. Now, if the Hellpit Abomination gets killed here, I think Xiphos has a very good chance of getting back into this game. But the heal is up. He gets up to 2,500 HP. Very, very nice. And now the Condom Wolves are being trapped in with spears. The Warp Lightning Cannon consistently blasting into the Familiar Balefiend. Beautiful stuff. And now the Wolf Rats have come out to play. And this is exactly what needs to happen. The Wolf Rats are going to be pursuing the Routing Skin Wolves, and this is the straw that breaks the Condom Wolves back, I think. Maybe some of the Horsemen are going to rush in to intercept, but that will probably be their doom as well. Wolf Rats are very fickle on leadership, but they can easily defeat Marauder Horsemen, especially the Poison variant there. Should be good at dragging them down. But it looks like despite the tactical reserves from Hadres, the 4-minute tactical reserves, he is still pulling ahead in the game. The Hellpit Abomination is broken. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to be rallied. The Skaven are pretty busy, but yeah, the Wolf Rats are doing a good job chasing down, you know, these wolves here. These ones are chasing down these wolves here. That's exactly how you play this matchup. But honestly, Hadres might have been able to even win without them. It would have been tough, much closer game, because without the Wolf Rats, you know, several of these units would have come back here. But man, just look at the Wolf Rats just ripping and tearing through these units, going full up Doom Guy here as they just chop through the Skin Wolves. You can see this one. Very dramatic fall from that wolf there. And now it looks like Skaven are in a very commanding position. Hadres coming out in game 1 using his best faction and a very dominant and unique faction. You know, we didn't see a Mortis engine. It was a pretty cool build. I really did like the inclusion of the Plague Monk unit as well as the Censor Bearer, and seeing the move away from Skaven Slaves I think is quite interesting. So the Hellpit Abomination did die back here. It was killed by the Skin Wolves of Xiphos. Is there any chance for the French champion to come back here? Looking around, he's got Marauders, got some Wolves here, but Hadres is all over him here, making sure that these wolves are not coming back. We've got some wolf-on-wolf action here as these Skin Wolves are broken down. The other Skin Wolves over here probably will be shattering in a moment. They only have 6 models, and looking back in the main battle lines, the Plague Priest actually doing pretty good against the Skin Wolf Werekin with the support of the Clan Rats, and that is GG, well played. Hadres winning match 1 here against Xiphos. Very, very awesome game. Despite the tactical reserves, it ended up being pretty close. Thank you, Rasta, for the donation. For the $10, watching these tournaments convinced me to get into multiplayer, and it has been a ton of fun. You really turned me onto a good thing, bro. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Rasta. Welcome to the multiplayer scene, and hope to see you competing in some of these tournaments someday, my friend. So, good build. Really neat usage of all the magic, even though they didn't do a ton of damage. It still adds up, right? And it's more important to break them off and then chase them down with the wolves, right? And that's what happened. 600 here, 930 value on these dogs here. It really just shows how important they are in this matchup. But yeah, great build by Hadres. I really dug it. And Xiphos' build was fine too. Honestly, it's pretty standard. Sometimes you see Throg or Wolfric. It kind of goes back and forth. But I feel like Xiphos did lose that blob fight initially pretty hard. And that was a big factor as well. But yeah, GG, well played. A fun match. And now, my friends, we will load back on over, update the scoreboard here, and have some fun. Hadres coming out with his strong faction now to see what Xiphos will do on the counter pick here. So what is he going to do in response? We will find out here on the next episode. Doing Gui for the map. Map is set. Xiphos says, I knew I should have played the Filthy Coast. Hadres says, I swear when I hide units, the stock is so strong it affects us too. All right, so we're on Gui for the next map. Christopher Bruns, thank you for the tenor. He says, hey, Turin, I'm looking forward to start playing multiplayer with the Greenskins. Are they beginner? Yeah, they're actually a really beginner-friendly faction. They have a lot of regeneration. Pretty durable, actually, and have a high skill cap, too. Like, Greenskins are good for beginners, in my opinion. You can play more simple builds using, like, Black Orcs and just, like, you know, some troll support, whatever. Or you can do, like, these very micro-intensive builds with a million skirmishers. Christopher, I would recommend Greenskins. They're very strong. They might get nerfed, you know, in the next patch, but even still, I'm sure they'll still be fine. Hey, Turin, in your opinion, which Skaven faction is best for the Mortal Empires campaign? Hussar, to answer your question, I would highly recommend Clan Scryer. I love Clan Scryer's campaign. It is so fun. So give him a try. You'll dig it. Al, thank you. Good luck with the upcoming surgery. Keep up the great content. Thank you so much. And again, this time it should be quicker. So the first time I had surgery last July to fix my right hand, which is still, it's getting better slowly. I had 9 years worth of nerve damage to heal. So, you know, it's a process. But I had the carpal tunnel, ulnar tunnel. I had a cyst that had to be taken out of my wrist because it was pressing on my nerve, and I had a sheath release on my flexor tendon. This time I'm only doing carpal and ulnar. Everything else is fine over there. So should be a relatively expedient recovery process compared to the last time. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, man. All right. Do you have advice for using wolves and hounds in battles? Yeah, you know, the thing about wolves and hounds is if you move them in big enough numbers, you don't always have to be like flanking or diving the back line with them. You can use them as like a pressure piece, like with your infantry, right? Like, so you can use them to just like flank in the frontline fight. But the biggest thing about hounds, in my opinion, to be efficient with them is chasing things off the battlefield. That's like the one important thing about hounds you need to remember. Try and save them. Don't throw them away, diving into the back line unless it's really urgent, and use them to chase things off as you break them. That really, really is quite big. Yeah. All right, so it's the most insidious warp ROR. Xiphos saying, I swear every time I tried to cast a spell, my caster got hit by the zap zap cannon. That's pretty funny, which does delay the spell cast there. Yeah. You know, Ice Power, I bet you when we get the next Warhammer 2 DLC that the greenskins will suffer a nerf. I bet you that is the case. It has. I mean, I would be very shocked if we didn't see at least some minor nerfs to the greenskins. All right, so Xiphos going Wood Elves. Both players whipping out their best factions first. He's going Wood Elves and banning greenskins and Empire. What will Hadres pick? What will he pick here against the mighty Xiphos? Xiphos, for the longest time, refused to pick Zotes. If I were Hadres, I might try and pick a faction in which Zotes are the answer and see if Xiphos just won't pick them. Because Xiphos is so stuck on not picking Zotes. I remember seeing him in countless tournaments before where they would have been quite useful, but not that they're like an amazing unit, but High Elves are a very good meta pick against Wood Elves. Dragon Princes, Silver and Guard, Archers, live long and prosper. It's a very strong, proven formula here. Yeah. The real question is if Norska will get a buff. I bet you Norska will get like a minor treatment in Game 3. Like they'll get like a new Lord or something and like maybe a couple units. Yeah, we'll see. Dwarves are a tricky faction to play in multiplayer. Of course, you can see like haggard dwarf boxes, but they're a little bit harder to play. Unlike if you have two beginners fighting, dwarves will be very strong, but if you have like two intermediate or advanced players fighting, dwarves become much harder to play, in my opinion. Because like on the higher levels, people really know like dwarves are pretty limited in their builds, like in certain matchups. So yeah, they're just gonna nerf Grimgore randomly. They're like, you know, Grom the Paunch is a little bit overshadowed by the Chad Grimgore, so we're just gonna nerf Grimgore. That would be really funny, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So you guys don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Yes, Christian, I believe you are right. Yeah, the Gotrek and Felix books. Thanquil's minion who becomes this like super jacked like warp fueled rat. I think it's like Lurk or Sneak or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I hope Norska gets. They got to get some stuff. Norska is definitely a very antiquated faction. Not that they're bad. They're just very average and like lower end of average too. They just don't. They have two lore choices. You know, they're kind of in the same boat as what's the other faction that only has two lords? Yeah, like Beastmen and Norska are kind of in the same boat. Like they both have some okay matchups, but they're just so limited that they kind of fall behind the higher tier factions. Your thoughts on the upcoming DLC? I mean, which faction will be featured in your? I mean, it's got to be Beastmen. I have no idea about the second faction though, because there's a fair amount of factions that are still missing shit in the game. Like even the Empire is missing a lot. The Sons of Sigmar are missing, you know, Kurt Hellborg. They're missing the Luminarch of not the Luminarch, but the Celestial Hurricanum. They're missing, you know, some hero characters. There's a lot they could do. I mean, yeah. I don't think it will be the Empire, but I mean, there's so many factions that are still missing stuff, or a couple at least. So, all right. So, Wood Elves versus High Elves here in this duel. Let us go ahead and see how this unfolds and have some fun. Any sad cow noises in chat? Not yet, no. The Beastmen haven't played yet. And Pugnobon might play Beastmen. I think Pug is a Lizardman player. And then I don't know who's going to be facing off against Pugnobon. I'm sure it's already decided, and we can take a look at the bracket here in a minute. People are saying second faction will be Vampire Counts. I doubt it. I don't know. Vampire Counts? I don't know. Would be cool to do Dwarves, too. Dwarves versus Beastmen would be an interesting thematic. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Beastmen should be fighting, like, Empire, right? Like, they're always... The Beastmen and the Beastmen versus Empire and Beastmen versus... It's not going to be Wood Elves, so that, you know, Empire would be a really good foe for them in terms of thematics, I think. Like, if I were to design the DLC, I know the Empire is super popular, so I'd probably do the Empire versus Beastmen, and then I would have the DLC be themed around like the Drakewald Forest and like that creepy forest vibe. And then like, the Beastmen are attacking these Empire cities, and, Karl Franz is occupied with politics and dealing with other things. So then, he calls in the Reichsmarshal. He calls in Kurt Hellborg, just his badass, like just the commander of the Empire armies, to come in and just like ride down the Beastmen threat. That would be super epic. You could have like a Luminarch the Celestial Hurricanum. You could use the Knights of the Inner Circle. You could have Kurt Hellborg. You could add a hero character for the Empire as well, like Luther Huss, or I don't know. There's a lot of like, yeah. I think like the Beastmen versus the Empire is my favorite thematic, simply because of like the Drakewald Forest. And you could also do Beastmen versus Bretonnia, but Bretonnia has all the units they had in tabletop, so they'd have to like make a lot of new stuff. Anyways, now we are here in the battle. Let's look at the forces of Hadres. Very, very meta here. It's going to be Silver and Guard. And I'm an Empire, like, they're my favorite, so I'm a little bit biased. Yeah, I'm a little bit biased. I don't think it'll be them, but I would be very happy. So, Silver and Guard are really good against the forces of the Hardwood because they have magic resist and silver shields. So, against Dryads do absolutely nothing against them. They take the magic resist, they take the armor. Really, really rough for Dryads. And Silver and Guard are just fine against, like, Eternals and other troops like that. So, yeah, Toddy would be cool, too. Oh my god, if they did, like, a Middenheim, like full, like unique Middenheim faction, I would have a full-on erection. I would be so happy. Anyways, Silver and Guard backed up by basic archers. Again, very, very standard. The formula is Silverin archers and Dragon Princes. Dragon Princes, of course, being a very solid elite heavy cavalry. Quite durable, can usually dominate the Wood Elf cavalry game, especially if you have Alariel with the Bunavisha to give them magic damage. They can deal with the Arawar big cavalry, no problem. So triple Dragon Prince, this is about as meta of a build as you get. It's very strong, very efficient, fast and furious, and that is that. So now if we take a look here at the forces of Xiphos, many have doubted Xiphos in the past against heavy cavalry in the previous ECLs, but he always emerged victorious against heavy cavalry spam. Very well practiced here. He's got Deepwood Scouts and looks like a Waystalker up in the sky. He's got a Spellweaver of High Magic, actually. Oh, he's got Tempest. That's pretty cool. So he has Tempest to battle Larry, and Larry has Tempest too, so it's going to be some Tempest on Tempest action. Spears in the back. Oh, Xiphos breaking his code and bringing Zotes. Oh, check this out. Yeah, look at that. Xiphos coming in with the Enigmas of Giran here. Okay, I can't remember. I don't think I've ever seen. You guys are witnessing history. Xiphos bringing Zotes is truly a thing of legends. And we got Lost Sylvan Knights in the shadows, and that is pretty much it. So now we can just hang tight in this nice center shot here, looking over Engui as we move forward. Yeah, Ludwig Schwarzhelm or Kurt Hellborg. I'd be so happy. You know, honestly, though, I do think we'll get an Empire DLC versus a Chaos faction in Game 3. Like, they'll probably... So, one of the titles, actually, for Kurt Hellborg is the Hammer of Chaos. That is so badass. I can totally see Kurt Hellborg being a Game 3 DLC versus, like, Khorne or Nurgle or Slaanesh, whatever. Like, there'll be, like, a Chaos invasion, you know, of the Empire in the DLC, and Kurt Hellborg will be there to meet them. The Hammer of Chaos. I mean, come on. I don't think the name gets any cooler than that. That is just so badass. All right, so the Elf Archers, a little bit outranged here, but still returning some pretty healthy fire into the Deepwood Scouts. I think that is more or less going to be the tactic. Oh, look at the Soul Quench. Oh, but Hadres with the dodge. That was so good. God damn. God damn, Joe Rogan. So basically, Hadres turned his formation sideways with the Silver and Guard to avoid the Soul Quench. That is such an MLG play. Very, very impressive stuff. So now the Deepwood Scouts are going to try and snipe out the High Elf Archers, and obviously they have the range advantage at 180, I believe, against... No, it's actually the same. So the Elvish Archer is able to return the favor. But that Soul Quench dodge was very, very good. I definitely enjoyed that. So Xiphos does have the slight advantage of the Deepwood Scouts being in a loose formation, so they can usually trade missiles a little bit more efficiently, but their model count is 60 compared to the 65 of Archers, or is it? It's actually 66, isn't it? No, it's like 68, some sort of weird number. So we do get some basic spearmen advancing up a little bit too far, and now Xiphos is going to be taking the Lost Sylvan Knights in to maybe go for it, but pulling back at the last second, realizing that there were Dragon Princes nearby, and also there was Archer support and different things like that. Definitely a very, very impressive dodge here. Hadri's playing very well today. So far, we haven't seen too many mistakes out of him, aside from the tactical reserves in Game 1, but he is facing one of the great legends of ODM here, one of the best elf players of all time, and the battle is young. The Deep Wood Scout's getting a beautiful volley. That's exactly what Xiphos wants to do. Just move forward, poke and stroke, just kind of poke in, take out an archer unit, and just kind of rinse and repeat over and over until you finish off the archers, and then you can kind of, have the fight you're looking for. Although Tempest does catch the Spellweaver of High Magic, there's not going to be too much follow-up. Granted, it's still worth casting. Larry doesn't really need to use her Earthbloods. Typically, she can just use her activated healing, and that's going to be more than enough. So yeah, it still forces out a heal and Apotheosis, a couple other things like that. Dragon Prince is moving forward here from Hadres. I think this might be a little bit of a mistake. I'm trying to think, maybe like a Star of Avalorn on top of them. Yeah, they do take the full charge in here, but yeah, man, they get hammered pretty good. And ooh, a really, really good Tempest by Xiphos, actually. So that Tempest is beautiful because it keeps Larry from giving magic damage to the Dragon Princes, which of course are being healed and also getting Foz protection, but that is a lot of stopping power there. And the Zotes are also moving up. So these Princes will be buckled back. And with that, Xiphos does pull ahead very, very heavily in the bounce power here. And the Dragon Prince Cavalry are now moving into fight very aggressively. I think might be a little bit too aggressive. I think you got to play a little bit more patient. Move the Silver and Guard upwards. And nice shots there, but good dodging by Hadres. He actually dodges a substantial portion of those shots. And the other Dragon Princes looking like they want to take a fight. I think the slow push with the Silver and Guard is definitely the way here. Let's see what they're saying. Just good luck, have fun, all that sort of good stuff. And yeah, these Dragon Princes kind of had their backs turned there, so the ammunition was able to surpass their shields and really kind of prevent that from doing much. Xiphos being forced back and the Silver and Guard still pushing. I've seen a lot of games where High Elves kind of have this happen to them. Oh man, another little lapse on those Dragon Princes there lets them take a big volley of fire, but they didn't lose too many models. Only 3 models lost here and 1 model here. So a big Earthblood and or a Star of Avalorn would be incredibly strong. And like I said, dealing with the Silver and Guard is going to be an unholy pain. They're an extreme pain to deal with for the Wood Elves, I can assure you. So Dragon Prince is committing to a fight, but the Zotes do countercharge. Spearmen here ready to accept their duel. It looks like these other Dragon Princes are going to be hammering in, taking quite a bit of focus fire as they move in. And the other Silver and Guard are pressing into the Deep Wood Scouts. It looks like there is going to be a Tempest going down. The Tempest play from Xiphos this game has been super amazing. And the biggest reason why is because it keeps Larry from giving the magic damage to fight against the Lost Sylvan Knights. Earthblood going down here. It does hit Larry, and it does also hit the Dragon Princes on the ground. And now it looks like we're going to have a Spellweaver duel up in the sky. So Larry's being attacked. Is the Star of Avalorn off cooldown? It's going to be pretty important for the Elves to get that. And now Larry has moved into combat here. Oh, that was very glitchy. It looked like she landed and got stuck on something. But a Star of Avalorn is going to be super essential here. Yep, pulling back in to dodge. It does attack the Zotes in the back. Ooh, could be a little bit tricky. Larry might be in trouble, but the High Elves are also moving forward. Is there going to be a Star of Avalorn? No, Larry's at negative 60 leadership, and she is broken. So with that, it looks like Xiphos is going to be taking control of this game. Obviously, we didn't get to see the second Star of Avalorn. It looks like the Silver and Guard, of course, still pressing into the Deep Wood Scouts. And, the Silver and Guard doing well. They're doing their job, right? They're pressing in. They're being annoying. But the cavalry engagements and the poke and stroke has been far too good for Xiphos this game. Been able to really nullify the Dragon Princes with effective tactics there. And it looks like the Spellweaver of High Magic, the Enigmas, and the Lost Sylvan Knights were able to just dominate the Princes in combat. Balance of power starting to head to the point of no return. The Elvish Archers here still doing very well. I mean, they've been able to sit and shoot the entire time. If Larry maybe hadn't been compromised here, we could still have a game on our hands due to the Silver and Guard. But I think without Larry, it's just going to be too much. And now the Lost Sylvan Knights will pretty much rampage. With the Dragon Princes being offline, Sylvan Knights are just going to drop out of this fight, come up and around, and just start hammering through these archers, which I think will most likely trigger the army losses. We'll certainly find out here in a moment, but I think it's only a matter of time here. We do get Walmart Legolas moving in, so the Spell, or the Spell Stalker, the Waystalker moving in. They're actually pretty good in combat, 55, 40, 40 something. I've had them do pretty well against my characters before when I'm playing like the Empire and things like that. More firepower coming in. Here, the Deep Wood Scouts shooting into the archers. It's only a matter of time, like I said. Lost Sylvan Knights, these angry Christmas reindeer moving in. The ghosts of Christmas past, as we shall deem them. Moving in to the Dragon Princes, and Dragon Princes will be crumbling due to army losses. GG, well played. It was a good game. And now we got the rubber match between these two legendary champions here in the community. Let's move it forward. It's pretty cool, right? In this series, Hadres is hands down one of the best Skaven players in the entire world. Xiphos is hands down one of the best Wood Elf players in the entire world. We've got to see two players playing their best factions, obviously very well. And now we go to a rubber match where neither of them are necessarily going to be on their best faction. So this is a very, very cool situation to be in. So I'm happy it's gone this way. All right, updating the scoreboard. Now we can load on back and let's do it to it, man. Let's do it to it. So for the last map, we'll be on Iron Sand Desert. Map set. And if you guys are just joining, how we're doing it today is that the top 2 winners, so the first and second place, so as long as you make it to the grand finals today, you will be qualifying for the big tournament for the ECL championship. So looking at the individuals who have qualified so far, we have our list here. You can see the Dark King Falcon, Alfredino, Imperator, Ice Power, Total War, Void Laws, and Anticity. A very, very strong run of players here. Beautiful stuff indeed, and it is going to be a heated final. I'm super excited. Super excited indeed. Would Elves be considered the best overall faction? Best Elven faction? Yeah, Wood Elves are probably the best Elf faction for sure. They're like a top tier faction. They're very, very strong. Yeah. So now we can go to the bracket as well. And as far as the bracket goes, I believe we do have our top side. So we got Han Samurai facing off against Pugnobon. Let's go ahead and do this. Boom. And a 1, 2, and a 3. So Samurai. Samurai, a very, very strong champion of the Han clan. Did very well for himself in the World Championships. So quite excited to have him here on stream and see how he does. All right, back to the main battle. Hype. Hype indeed. Yeah, Dark Elves have a lot of fun units that are just terrible. Like the Medusas. They have the Medusas. They have Lokir. They have, you know, Crone Hellebron. They just have so much bad stuff on their roster. It's a shame. It's a shame for sure. All right, so Captain Rump says, hey, Turin, just want to ask something about the last Wood Elf versus High Elf matchup. Aren't Lother and Seaguard an auto pick against Wood Elves? Not necessarily. They have had some situational play, but they're not an auto pick. Basic archers honestly have 180 range, and Lother and Seaguard I think have like 160, so the range is really big. That's why you see the basic archers. Toddy's going to be a secret lord for Kislev. I doubt that, but that'd be cool. Christopher Bruns, thanks for the advice. Could I ask what greenskins are weak against? So greenskins are one of the factions that have the benefit of being weak against almost no one, as it stands currently. But if the greenskins, if I had to say their worst matchups, it's probably Vampire Counts are hands down their worst matchup. If you put the best Vampire Count player in the world against the best greenskin player, I think the Vampire Count player would probably win slightly more. And then the other one would be really good Vampire Coast players. But even still, it's hard for Coast. They have to do like really annoying, like, you know, deck dropper bat tactics with gunnery whites and things like that. But yeah, probably Vampire Counts is their worst matchup. That's what I would ban. Yeah, that's what I would ban. Yeah, poor Medusas. Greenskins' worst matchup is Greenskins. No, it's definitely Vampire Counts. Yeah. But they can still beat them. That's the thing, like, they don't have any matchup where it's like Empire versus Dwarves or Empire versus Lizardmen that are just like cursed matches. You know, they generally have a chance in every single matchup, which is why they're so good. Malice Darkblade got done dirty. Yeah, he's pretty goddamn terrible, which is a shame. Yeah, Gotrek and Felix are pretty good in the game. They play well. They're fun, too. Yeah, Wood Elf Cavalry is very good. Very weak against Shock Cavalry, but if you can, like, get the good engagements using your ranged pieces and a little bit of magic, you can still win those fights. So right now, Xiphos is going to be picking his 3 factions and banning 1, and then Hadres will pick and ban 1, etc., etc. And we will go from there. Chosen One saying Greenskins' worst matchup is Lizardmen and then Greenskins. You really think it's that bad? I feel like Greenskins do pretty well against Lizards these days. I mean, I wouldn't call it, like, favored for Greenskins, but I would call, like, Lizardmen versus Greenskins somewhat even. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit out of the loop on that. Turin, did you see the new Hobgoblin models? Yeah, I did. I'm tempted to collect that army. Like, I don't like Age of Sigmar lore, but that orc army looks really, really cool. It looks like, you know, fantasy-esque. Yeah. It looks like Lord of the Rings. Like, the orcs look like the ones from The Hobbit, like Azog and all that stuff. Lizardmen are definitely a top-tier faction, too. They're very, very strong. I think Lizardmen are one of the best factions in the game. Okay, so Xiphos going Greenskins, Lizards, and Dark Elves and banning Wood Elves. Okay, pretty good. What could be strong here? I don't know. I don't know how much Coast Hadres plays. You go, Coast is pretty good against like all these. You know, maybe Hadres goes Coast, bans Greenskins, and then, you know, Coast versus Dark Elves is fine. It's favored for Coast, and then Coast versus Lizards is fine too, I think. I don't know how practiced Hadres is at Coast, though. That's the thing. Dwarves would actually... Now, Dwarves against Dark Elves is whatever. I mean, it's fine, but I don't think Hadres really plays Dwarves enough for that. I'm curious to see what faction he'll whip out here for Game 3. Yeah, Misha says, don't collect them for the sake of the game, collect them for the art. Those models are, yeah, they're amazing. 100% Misha. I really like the game, though. Gameplay is my favorite part. I do like hobbying, but, you know, gameplay is my jam. Which orcs are the best across all of fantasy? Ooh, that's tough. I don't know, dude. I mean, Tolkien orcs are great. I mean, Uruk-hai are so cool. But, like, you know, Warhammer fantasy orcs are pretty amazing, too. Like, Wurzak and Grimgor and all these cool characters. That's too hard for me to say, man. Too hard to say. Chosen One, yeah. So you're saying your greenskin build dumps on vampire counts? You see, the thing is, I think at the highest level, I was casting a series the other day where it was Evenstar, the world champion. He won the world championship recently, and he was playing his vampire counts against greenskins. Like, he played the matchup twice in my ECL finals, and he was like destroying good greenskin players, like flattening them with his vampire counts. But again, I think if you're not like that type of a vampire count player, like, yeah, you probably just get run over by greenskins. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Has CA ever undone a nerf? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, Warhammer orcs are pretty cool for sure. All right, Xiphos going greenskins. No. Okay, Hadres goes Sons of Sigmar, and he bans the Dark Elves. So Empire has an okay matchup versus greenskins. It's 100% greenskin favored, but not to the point of no return. I'd probably say like 60-40. But the problem is that Lizardmen, I would say, are a pretty strong counter against Empire. I've played this matchup quite a bit. I'm an Empire main. I didn't used to think so, but lately I think that Lizardmen players have figured out the formula. I don't know if Xiphos has, if he's much of a Lizard guy, but like, Lizardmen are favored against Empire, and so too are greenskins. I would probably take Lizards here. Yeah, so we're going to get Lizardmen versus Empire. I am really, really, really curious to see what Hadres is going to bring, because I struggle so hard in this matchup. So hard. Bender, the stream's going great. Thank you for asking. Any prediction for Chaos Dwarf Legendary Lords? You see, I don't know too much about their lore, but Draz, I think his name's like Drazhoath the Ashen or something. Yeah, it'd probably be him. Yeah, a lot of those like really cutthroat vampire count playstyles can do well against greenskins, but you have to really be a specialist. Yeah. Ice Power, oh, that's funny. Yeah. I think Empire versus Dark Elves is a even matchup. It's one of my favorite matchups in the game. It's really fun. Have you tried using Hellblasters against Lizardmen? Yeah, it's okay. It does fine. The problem is Pterodon Riders. Pterodon Riders just like fly over your shit and just dump on your artillery. The build I've actually had the most success with against them is just using like a battle line of decent quality with like 4 Knights of the Blazing Sun, because like lizards usually don't go super monster heavy against Empire. It's just like wide and drags you through the mud with like chameleon skanks and shit. Probably one of the worst feelings in the entire game is having your like elite heavy cavalry dragged through the mud by just some stupid chameleon skank, and you're just like poisoned with like 50 speed, just getting shit on. It's the worst feeling ever. Christopher Bruns just picked up the new Death Guard Codex and 3 Blightlord boxes. Hell yeah, man. Christopher, if you ever have questions about Death Guard, let me know. You can shoot me a message in Discord. I play Death Guard on a competitive 40k team, and I've had pretty good success against like some top tier players who've gotten like top 8 at LVO and things like that. So if you need some Death Guard lists, I can certainly help you out, man. Don't sleep on Poxwalkers. Blightlords are very good. I usually I run 10 myself on a lot of lists, 2 groups of 5, but I run a shit ton of Poxwalkers, which are very good now. Yeah. Yeah, I think Empire vs Dark Elves is 50-50. Yeah. I for sure think so. I think good Dark Elf players can do very fine there. The Empire has a lot of matchups where they're like, like that. But Hadri's certainly at a little bit of a deficit in terms of matchup overall. But that's not to say that you can't overcome it with good plays and skill and unique builds and all sorts of cool stuff like that. So, yeah, Chameleon Skanks I think are the most annoying unit in the entire game. Hands down. There's nothing more annoying than Chameleon Skanks, in my opinion. Now, I'd be curious, for those of you guys who are multiplayer folks or, campaign folks even, what has been, in your experience, the most annoying unit to face off against? Let me know in chat. Here comes that boy, says, I don't think I've ever beaten lizards in a competitive match. I feel comfortable against lizardmen with other factions, just not with Empire. Yeah, Mortarion is really good too. Mortarion's great. Definitely recommend getting Mortarion. Plus, he's an epic looking model. Some delicious goddamn water. Well, Thousand Suns are about to get their new codex, so they're going to be really strong soon, I'm sure. They should remove the skirmish option from chameleons. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, Matt, I agree with your assessment that the Lizardmen have one of the best non-DLC rosters. Like, you can take Lizardmen with no DLCs and they're still pretty functional. 100%. Volkmar definitely counts, Butcherbird. Yeah, he's pretty annoying to play against, for sure. So, some of the things that people are saying are the most annoying: Chameleon Skinks, Hell Cannons, Lewin on his mount, Outriders. Okay, we got some mixed answers here. The most annoying unit is the Flyers for Tomb Kings. Are you talking about Carrion? That's funny. Yeah. Chameleons. Okay. So the players making their final tweaks here. Yeah, Thousand Suns lore is really cool. Mazda Mundi on a Stegodon. Phoenixes. Yeah, Phoenixes are very annoying. Arcane Phoenixes when they get the rebirth. Yeah, the Lizardman DLC units are pretty terrible. Karatikin, I agree with you. I mean, Ancient Salamander sucks. Salamander Hunting Pack's mediocre at best. Razordon's mediocre at best. And I'm being generous with those assessments. Ripperdactyl's pretty haggard. Like, honestly, all their DLC stuff more or less sucks, except the Red Crested Skinks. They're actually really good. All right. Loading into the battle. It's time, baby. Do you stream all the qualifiers? Yes, Shitaza, I do. You can go back and there should be a playlist with all the ECLs, and you can watch all the previous qualifiers if you'd like. 20 Star Dragons out of nowhere. Well, yes, of course, if you're playing campaign. In campaign, in campaign, the most annoying thing is probably like a Wood Elf controlled AI army that has like a million ranged units and like they perfectly kite in every direction. You can never catch them sitting. And it's really annoying to play against campaign Wood Elves. I have lost many an army going into the Wood Elf lands. Bender, thank you for the $5. I love that I can catch your stream. Props for the great content. I was wondering what the situation is with your... Oh, all's good, man. We're back at our original place and we've got settled in, so Lady Turn and I are doing very well. Spider Rider, yeah, Spider Riders I think are a top contender for most annoying unit. Yeah. All right, so if we take a look, this is what I'm most curious about. We do have the Hammer of the Witches, the Rob Zombie Cannon, as I like to call it. Burn through the witches. All right, let's see what else we got. Handgunners, so a lot of Sigmarite powder ready to take on the monsters, and a huge battle line, so Sigmar Sons, I think. Nope, actually Swordsmen, Spearmen. Halberds in the back, very much like a pike and shot type build with Free Company Militia in the back, a single cavalry unit, and the silver bullets as well. So quad handgunners, man oh man. That's really good against monsters, but again, it is a bit of a liability against wide builds. However, it looks like Xiphos did bring 2 Feral Stegodons, so he did provide the Empire with some targets for those handguns. Normally, there's not too many targets. You see, like, Bastillodons are cheaper units, but the Stegodons will be a bit of a target there. Volkmar the Grim and a Light Wizard, Nets, Shem's Burning Gaze, and that is it. I love it, man. Sign me up. Empire's my jam, so. Turn in campaign, Empire with artillery spam. Yeah, it's very strong. Empire artillery spam is quite fun in campaign. My favorite army in campaign to use, though, is the Doom Stack of War Wagons. I was doing that before it was cool. Yeah, they're very fun, though. All right, so if we take a look here at the forces of Xiphos, he's got a Crocscore Ancient. Crocscore Ancient is relatively meta in this matchup. He's got the Amulet of Pretzels, which gives him 66% ward save, the number of the beast. And yeah, it's really good if you're being sniped by handguns, artillery, etc., and the Horn of Kygor as well. Aside from that, we got some Cold One Riders in the back to fight the Empire Heavy Cavalry and or get into the back line. And yeah, just a wide battle line. That's it. With only 2 Chameleon Skinks, I feel like Xiphos not maximizing the potential of one of the most powerful units on the roster. However, he probably knows better than me when it pertains to lizards. So we'll see how this goes. Wesley, thank you for the $5. Lizards represent. Can't wait to get the new Croak model. Thanks for the awesome streaming content. As always, you're very welcome. Appreciate that. And let's go forward. The new Thousand Suns battle cry, dust these fools. That's pretty good. And yay, not being able to sleep paid off for once. Tell me about it, man. Last night, let's see. So we started today's tournament at like 9 o'clock, and I went to bed at like 5:30 in the morning. I'm going off like 4 hours of sleep right now, man. We're going hard in the paint. No messing around. Free Company Militia, I think we did see some mixed in. I think there was 1 Free Company. No, Silver Bullets. Yeah, 1 Free Company Militia. And a very defensive build. Very, very tight formation here. which can be a little bit scary. Sometimes if your formation's a little bit too tightly packed, in one flank it gets collapsed, your entire gun line can be compromised, but we'll see. Nets of Amachok, of course, can do some big work. I personally like to play much wider with Empire, like have a much kind of more width to my build. However, I also use a lot of heavy cavalry in this matchup, so we'll see how this all unfolds. He did not spam Chameleon Skinks because he already knows how to play probably. Yeah, that's true, for sure. I'm sure Xiphos knows the ways of the lizards. Many of these great ODM champions train in gladiatorial pits with one another, come up with these very, very scary builds. ODM has always innovated builds quite a bit. Kroxigor Ancient, pretty good against Volkmar. He's got good mass, 120 armor. You know, he can sit and go fisticuffs with Volkmar and easily probably win that duel. So I do like that. He is a big target, though. If he's not careful, he can be focused down, but that's what the Amulet of Pretzel is for. And that's that. Do Witch Hunters have good armor piercing? Yes, they do, and they also do magic damage. A Witch Hunter here could be okay. But again, Witch Hunters also can be destroyed very, very badly by like Stegodons and Bastillodons because they're foot-based characters. So the bonus versus infantry can be quite nasty there. Let's see what the players are saying. Good luck, have fun. You're saying all set. Let's do it. This is it. This is a big one. This is actually bigger than normal ECLs because since today we're doing a double qualifier, the first and second place on today's stream will be qualifying. So if you make it to the grand finals, you qualify for basically the big tournament. So this is very, very big here. This is very, very big. Here they come, the skink cohorts and the red-crested skinks marching forth on the Sons of Sigmar, who've taken a very valiant position here on the hill. You can tell I'm a little bit biased as to my favorite faction, although, man, Xiphos and Hadres are two of my favorite players in the entire community, so certainly can't choose favorites there. So here they come. Red-crested skinks should trade okay with the basic infantry here. Of course, the Feral Stegodons are really the breadwinners as it pertains to doing some big damage. We haven't seen the Volkswagen move out yet. Usually Volkswagen is out front running some interference. And do we have the ROR skinks here? We do. And it looks like the handguns are going to be opening initially into just chaff units, which is very normal. But Hadres really needs to make sure that the handgunners switch on to the Feral Stegodons very quickly. A very withering volley on top of the red-crested skinks here takes out a handful of models, actually punishes them. And Volkmar should be able to move in. Empire Knights moving in to lance down these skink cohorts as well. And it looks like a very nice wind blast coming in from Xiphos does butter up some of those handgunners. Not that bad, though. They only lost, like, no models. Wow, okay. Just a little bit of HP damage then, so not the worst thing in the world. So now the handgunners have switched their firepower onto the Feral Stegodon. Should be a lot of Sigmarite powder going down. And in the front, we do get the Grand Hammer of Sigmar and the Shield of Faith. And the first unit of the red-crested skinks has been broken off. So now a big onslaught, though. We do get the big crocodile with the miasma and all those different buffs going down. He does pop the Amulet of Itzel. Man, the Kroxigor Ancient's getting pounded by that Sigmarite firepower. Look at that, 4 handgunners going into the Kroxigor Ancient. But it always kind of starts off this way for Sigmar, but then eventually once the lizards do get into the back line, things can get very messy. So Volkmar here are going to be popping a banishment, very good banishment. The Cold One Riders were netted, the Skinks were netted down, and now the Volkswagen is actually attacking the Kroxigor Ancient. Maybe he figures he has it beat up enough that he can actually get in there and do some work. No Pterodons either in this build, so a little bit more of a straightforward build here for the lizards, but the Kroxigor Ancient is actually broken. Very, very big stuff. And oh, a little bit of a misplay here. Xiphos with the tactical reserves. Cold Blood Riders here. And I think there's another one on the other side. No, it looks like just right there. So that cavalry unit could be doing a number on this backfield right now. But without it, it does give the Empire a much better fighting chance. But now the Empire artillery is more or less compromised, as well as the missile pieces. Some handgunners still standing in the pocket, ripping some nice shots here. Volkmar doing his best to peel the back line against these 69 Chameleon Skink models. That's what she said. And it looks like back there, the Kroxigor Ancient has paid the final troll toll, as he has been blasted down by the quad handgunners, as well as the Hammer of the Witches. A nice wind blast there from Xiphos. It does do some substantial damage against the handgunners. And yeah, the lizards are still pressing, but the tactical reserves certainly could come to bite him a little bit. They are now going to be chasing down the handgunner units, which is a very strong pick there. Could help Xiphos get back in the game, but I feel like the Kroxigor Ancient plus the tactical reserves, the Great Cannon still shooting quite happily into the Cold One Riders here, seems to be doing pretty well. And the Silver Bullets shooting into a rampaging dinosaur. Doesn't look like there's any cold blood available. And Shem's Burning Gaze coming right in the face there of that Skink Priest. Doesn't really do that much damage, though. Looks like the Skink Priest did get knocked over instead of taking the full amount of damage. And now the Sons of Sigmar pull even further and further ahead. Although Xiphos is about to compromise the backfield. Cold One Rider is going to be riding down the handgunners here. Should be able to easily rotate over and take down these other handgunners. Looks like -4 leadership. We do have Chameleon Skinks back here. maybe the build needed more Chameleon Skinks. They are very good against Halberds. Halberds have light armor and no missile mitigation. Is there a chance for the dinos to come back? They still have some pressure on the battlefield via some Skinks. And, of course, the cavalry in the backfield. But I feel like the Volkswagen is going to be a little bit too tough to bring down at this point. I think, what is he, like full health, give or take? Yeah, the Volkswagen is sitting quite healthy with about 4,500 HP. And several handgunner units are now stabilizing. We do have the Free Company coming back. These handgunners, the Silver Bullets, are back. Volkmar can pretty much route off an indefinite amount of Skink units. And now you can see he's doing that, moving into the Skink cohort with Javelins. And they're going to be getting run over as the Sabaton blasts from these speakers here of Volkmar the Grim. All's going well, man. And there it is, the Sons of Sigmar claiming victory. GG, well played. Hadres will be advancing on to the grand finals and also qualifying for the championship of Season 6. Well played to both Xiphos and Hadres, two good friends of mine. It's like watching Captain America and Iron Man fight, but you know, somebody's got to win. GG, well played. The Volkswagen was too strong after the Crocscore Ancient got 148 value and just got blasted into the Age of Sigmar. You know, there wasn't much to stop Volkmar. And also forgetting about some cavalry on the flanks. There was a couple small misplays that really cost there. Yeah, GG, well played. All right, let's update these scorecards here. Hadres will be advancing 2-1. We'll go to the bracket real quick. Boom. He'll be going on to the final to face the winner of Samurai and Pugnobon, which we'll be getting to just now. GG, well played. See you in finals. So either you pick one. Let's see what they're saying. Okay. Very good. Yeah, they're talking about the match. Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, Xiphos is mentioning that, you know, he feels like the pick system there kind of punished him a little bit. Granted, I feel like Xiphos had the advantage in that regard. I feel like he had the Greenskins and Lizardmen versus the Empire, both of which are great matchups, right? So, yeah, something to think about. Anyways, we're going to open up the spots now and invite the two other champions here to the lobby. So we got Samurai and Pugnobon. Samurai. All right, let's find him here. Han Samurai and Pugnobon. 1, 2, 3, 4, join up. I may need to add them to my friends list, but we will find out. Oh my god, there's some wild motorcycle outside. Just rolling dirty. Yeah, they're discussing the matchup. All right. Is there an easy way to defeat the Chameleon Skinks? So in my experience, the best way to deal with the Chameleon Skinks is to screen them with shielded chaff, whether that be swordsmen or spearmen with shields, and just mitigate their effectiveness while your powder and your cavalry do basically kill everything else. Yeah, that's the, I mean, cavalry can ride them down, but oftentimes it forces you into an overextension and you kind of get picked apart. So it's a little bit tricky. All right. GG, well played. Can't change. To see you again. Sorry, I'm just chatting with the players. All right. So now we got Pugnobon versus Samurai. Got to make sure Samurai can see the lobby. It can be a little bit tricky connecting. And I'll have Han Samurai add me to his friends list just to be safe. Steam is just a potato as it pertains to servers and lobbies and all that sort of good stuff. That was Volkmar, yes, riding his motorcycle outside. How could I have forgotten? You know Volkmar would ride like the biggest chopper. He would just have like some epic motorcycle. Like just some wild hogs. Harley Davidson Road King shit. He'd be getting down. All right. So now we have Pugnobon versus Samurai. Players are loading in. Pugnobon. Pugnobon was actually, I think, in the grand finals last week as well. So it's pretty cool to see Pugnobon coming back. Having a good run here. And now we can go back to the lobby here. Let's do it to it. All right. We're all set. Do you see any issues with the pick and ban system? You know, it's so tricky because I've thought about myself taking a deep dive in the rules and getting more involved with it, but with Game 3 on the horizon and potentially the whole game system changing with domination battles and other things like that, I'm kind of like, I just want to like see how things roll first. But yeah, I don't mind this current pick and ban system. I think it's fine. Yeah. Hey, Hadres, well played, man. Well played. That was a great series, man. I couldn't figure out how to beat the Lizardmen to save my life with the Empire, but you certainly showed us some cool tactics there. Just a ton of handgunners, man. Seemed to do the trick. You want to see a road trip buddy movie with Karl Franz and Volkmar? That'd be an interesting one. Yeah. Certainly a little bit different in the personality department. All right, let's see if Han Samurai was able to add me. Where's the mighty samurai? Might still be AFK. Let's see. All right, so we're going to try and add the Han Samurai right now. For some reason, I've been having a bit of a bug with Steam. When I try and add people, it like gives me trouble. It keeps saying like error, fails to send invites. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on here. Let's see if this works. All right, 1 second. He says he can't add me. Oh, it says my friends list is full? Really? God, what is with Steam? Just let me have... God, it's so annoying, dude. Oh. Turn, my suggestion for now is to have pick one, ban one as an option when you got to do pick... Okay. Yes, this is not Warcraft 3. That is correct. All right, my friends, hold on. I just got to like do some purging on my friends list here real quick. All right. Let's do this. Find someone who hasn't been online for like 2 years on my friends list. No, my friends list is not full. I actually just... Oh my god, hopefully you can just join the lobby. I'm purging it right now, Misha. We're in the middle of it. So just bear with me for a minute, guys, while I do this, and we should be good to go here in a second. All right, who else has not been online in like years? There's a couple here. Yeah, the friends list is full. No, it's like, it's weird though, because it lets people people are able to add me, but I just can't like add other people, which is very strange. All right. Cool. What a glorious way. Even though I just took out a couple people off my friends list, it still says my friends list is full. So maybe people can add me, but I can't add them. That's so strange. So strange. Let's see if this works. All right. So just working it out. And in the meantime, we can take a look at the top 8. So Hadres will be earning a spot today. We'll, of course, do the ceremonial ending where we do that at the very end of the stream. But he'll be joining this Hall of Champions for the Grand Finals, which date to be determined. It's not my birthday. It's actually getting kind of close to my birthday, though. So for those of you guys... Oh, look, he made it. Hey, look at that. The crew's done it. All right, cool. Galbaraz, picks and bans. Good luck, have fun. All right. Through the power of technology, we have done it. We have Han Samurai versus Pugnobon. The clan duel, XMT versus Han. Han clan certainly has some very strong players, as does XMT. Despite having meme in their name, they're certainly not a meme when it comes down to competitive play. They do very, very well for themselves. Going to be updating the bracket here, sending Hadres through to the Grand Finals on the actual challenge bracket. And it looks like we're all set. So the players will do their picks and bans. Pugnobon teasing us a little bit, sitting there on the Beastmen as if he's going to play them. This could happen. Don't worry. If you can always re-add me. I don't think I did. Yeah, Hugh, I'm here. Don't worry. Man, a Beastman first pick would be super alpha. That's like some alpha energy there. Beastmen, no bans. I don't know. That would be some shit. Even though I would feel happy if someone did that, I would also feel slightly intimidated if I was in a tournament, especially in a top 4 of a bigger tournament, and you know, somebody who's like Beastman, no bans. I'd be a little bit nervous, to be honest. Yeah. Hadri saying Han Samurai is one of the old terrors. One of the old school top tier guys, huh? Samurai Warrior says, we are the meme that keeps you awake in the dark night. Yeah, there you go. Some truth there. So I'm going to go refill my water, and I will be right back here in just a minute. Stay tuned, my friends, for this glorious battle. I return. Let's see what the players have done. Oh my god, I think we have a Beastman pick. I come back to this glory. So Pugnobon picks Dwarves, banning High Elves and Skaven. And then Samurai picks the Beastman for a second. Oh, he's going to Dark Elves. Damn it. Oh, I was so excited. Come on. HGM. That's probably not the case. My name on Steam isn't Turin right now. It's the Mad Mullet, so you'd have to search that. Oh, man. Yeah, I was just on a break. I just went to go get some water, so we're back now. Oh, we get the Beastmen! All right, guys. Get your hooves out. Start clapping your hooves together in excitement. We have the Beastmen versus Dwarves. Two very... I don't know. Dwarves are popular in a normal sense, but Beastmen are popular as a meme more so. But yes. Really showing the contrasting playstyles of the two sides of the bracket, right? Like on the bottom, we saw mostly elves and Skaven and that sort of stuff. And here we're seeing Dwarves and Beastmen. Satisfy the grudge. It's coming. It's happening, guys. Brace yourselves. This is a fun matchup. Gyrocopters can be good here, but so too can Harpies. Harpies can shut down Gyrocopters pretty well. Yes, it's happening. Beastmen versus Dwarves is a very fun matchup. I like it. You know what's actually really good here is a Flame Cannon. Like a single Flame Cannon can really catch Beastmen players off guard. I wouldn't put it past Pugnobon for bringing a Flame Cannon either. Dude, look at the moos in chat. God damn. That is a passionate fan base. Like, I see a couple people yelling grudge, but for the most part, it's just mooing. Well, apparently the Beastmen are, okay. Okay, it's going back and forth. I see the tide of ebbing and flowing. Yeah. Man, I'm going to feast on some glorious Italian food after this. So there's this Italian restaurant like down the street from where I live that after the years we've lived here, like 3 or 4 years, I've never like gone. But I went recently and holy shit, it is so goddamn good. Like I think about it every day. Oh god, the meatball sub is so good and the minestrone soup. Plus I was just rewatching some Sopranos episodes. So it's all coming together. The stars are aligning. Speaking of great shows, man, The Sopranos is so good. Such a goddamn good show. Oh, HGM, just re-add me, man. Yeah, just re-add me. I cycle my friends list all the time just because I have to for these tournaments. A lot of motivation for the Beastman. Yeah, that show. It's interesting. Sopranos is came out, I think, when I was in high school. Or like around that time, and it was like before smartphones. So like it's interesting to watch those like older shows and not see like social media or smartphones being referenced in the show and things like that. Yeah. Beastmen are the people's champ every time. Yeah. What's my favorite fish? Salmon. Yeah, salmon. I cook a lot of salmon. Polish cow noises. Sopranos, Total War. Oh yeah, Misha, I agree. You're starving now. All right. The Gabagool, yeah. So, guys, let's take a look here at the forces of the Dowie. We're going to be led by the great Pugnobon. Yeah, my dad has a lot of funny Italian jokes because my dad is Italian. So yeah, he's got some fun New York City Italian stories. Tony Soprano would be a very scary legendary lord for sure. All right, so we got Longbeards in the front. Longbeards are very good. They pretty much defeat the entire Beastmen infantry roster with the exception of Bestigors, which they actually hold okay against. On top of that, we do have Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes to nail down Minotaurs and Chariots. Rangers in the back to provide DPS against Centaurs, Harpies, Minotaurs, all sorts of light armor. With double Slayers on the flank, so Slayers, of course, very good. Interesting choice, though. No Dragonback Slayers. I feel like Dragonback Slayers are often in an auto-include, but in this case, we just have 2 Slayers, and that is going to be it. So now for the forces of the Bray Herd, being led by the champion of the Han clan, a Wild Beast Lord pick. Look at this. It's not Khazrak, but it's better Khazrak because he's got the Horn of the First Beast as well as Apocalyptic Vision. Very strong. Stacking these 2 buffs can basically give your units plus 48 melee attack nearby. You know, it's no WoW, but it tries its best. So, we got Ungors and Chaff, and basically just Chaff with a couple of Gore herds mixed in the front. Raiders, of course, good at shooting down Slayers. Harpies to shut down Gyrocopter play and dive the backline as well. And Minotaurs and single entity Chariots. That's it. So we got Beast Lord, we got a Bray Shaman of Bray Scream, and then we do have a Cygor Summoner as well on the far side with Razor Gore Chariots. Pretty good build. Honestly, I think it's fine. Chariots are good against dwarves. If you can avoid the troll hammers and shut them down, you're going to be A-okay. Are the kids the Gabagool meme going? Oh, man. It's so funny. Yeah, it's a good time. Just a rat. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a dangerous play. Yeah, the bingo. Apparently there's a fun bingo community going on. Hopefully you guys are having fun. And when I do say yeah, it's usually because I'm like answering a question from chat, but you know, in the replay it might just seem a little bit out of character. Here they come. What are your predictions? Beastmen or dwarves? Make it now before the battle starts. No messing around. It's a Rune Lord here, so pretty basic lords. No Grombrindle, nothing serious. And here they go. Matthew, welcome. Glad you enjoyed the Blood Bowl. When Blood Bowl 3 comes out, I'll certainly cover it pretty aggressively. So Brave Scream going down there on the Slayers, not doing too much damage. Trollhammer torpedoes shooting into the advancing Beastmen, but the Chariots do get in safely without taking shots to the face. And now there is going to be a huge backline space jam coming in. As the Harpies descend on top of the Iron Drake, Slayers will be rushing in to intercept. So, man, look at this Brave Shaman getting nuked! Oh my god, back to the Age of Sigmar where you have no model support. Oh my god. That Brave Shaman got karate chopped by those Iron Drakes. And which one was that? That was the one with the Brave Scream. So the Cygor summons are still on the table. These Harpies are shut down right here, and the rest of the Beastmen slamming into the front line, but the Longbeards and the Rune Lord holding back the initial rush. Right here, the rush is obviously a little bit stronger, but the other Brave Shaman is being nuked down by the firepower from the Iron Drakes. However, it does look like the Minotaurs do get back there and are finally able to shut down the Iron Drakes. So perhaps a little bit aggressive initially with the Chariot characters. The Harpies here completely shattered off. This Brave Shaman has come back, and the Beast Lord is probably going to be next up on the menu here, as the Beastmen do attempt to surge forward with the Minotaurs and the Beast Lord. But yeah, there's a lot of range firepower back here. Very nice layering from the Dwarves, as now the Quarrelers have switched their fire here onto the Ungor Raiders. Will the Beastmen be able to stabilize after taking those initial shots? That certainly was quite punishing. However, Chariots can be quite devastating. I think a Cygor summon is pretty much the glue that's holding together this Beastman army. Now the Iron Drakes are back online, and the Beast Lord is just going to be getting nuked by this firepower. He is going to go down so hard. Look at that, 2,300 HP. Rapidly tanking here. Will they get another volley off? It looks like they do close the distance, but the Beast Lord is able to run them over. So, bit of a glimmer of hope, but I feel like the Dwarves are winning on too many fronts here for the Beastmen to really do much. There will be another Cygor summon, and if the Beastmen can effectively shut down the Trollhammer torpedoes, you know, the Rangers can be survived. But Trollhammer torpedoes being online and shooting at you is far too much. And it looks like both Trollhammers might actually be compromised here by the Brave Shaman, but guard mode is the thing, and these Trollhammers are in guard mode, and it looks like the Brave Shaman of the Wild here is going to be getting forced back by all of the Raider fire. Even though they have 80 armor, I mean, volume of fire is volume of fire, and the Quarreler is able to just tee off into that character, and down goes the Brave Shaman being flipped upside down, put in the trash can. Yeah, got a swirly, whatever other bullying analogy you want to use. Certainly not having a good time. So back here, we do have the Quarrelers being attacked by the Razor Gore Chariot. The summoned Cygor is on its last legs. And the Walmart Kazrak, or I don't know, Kazrak is Walmart. This thing is like Target, maybe Costco, something a little bit of an echelon above, perhaps. 60 armor on the Iron Drakes, going to make them even more durable. With 178 armor against the Harpies. The Harpies will basically be hitting for minimum damage, as the Beast Lord does run over the Iron Drakes with the Trollhammer torpedoes right here. The other ones are moving back across, and it looks like they're more than stable. So those Trollhammers, even though there's only 11 of them, probably should do the trick. Rune of Wrath and Rune going down. Let's watch the Trollhammer torpedoes. The Beast Lord is at 676. Slayers are doing jump kicks and all sorts of karate shit on them. And it looks like the Beast Lord will be able to escape, but, you know, he's broken. He's running for the hills. Faction destroyed Beastmen. That's so funny. Yeah, it's like the first turn of the campaign. The Dwarves certainly doing quite well here. Pugnobon, beautiful Iron Drake play. Now, if the Chariots had been a little bit more carefully managed by Samurai, if he had made sure to get the Harpies perhaps on top of the Iron Drakes before the heavy fighting had started, I think it could have been a different game. But man, he got Alpha Strike so hard in the beginning. And like you can see, the Dwarf army kind of has been pulled apart. Like just Samurai, Han is his clan, but Samurai has done an excellent job, you know, pulling apart the Dwarf army despite basically losing his two casters instantly and losing most of his value pieces here. So the Beast Lord's running, negative 26. We do have some Bray Herd still fighting. The Blackhorns Ravagers moving in, but they'll be easily dismantled by the Longbeards and other supporting units. And the Razor Guard Chariot still online. I mean, is there a glimmer of hope for the Beastmen? Okay, we got some Raiders. We have another Cygor summon, which will be coming in here. We have some troops piling back in, as long as they don't let these Iron Drakes move back in. If those Iron Drakes get back online and rip some shots here at the Razor Gores, which It looks like they're going to. Fire, reload, fire! Here they come, ripping those torpedoes, and that chariot is down. Nuked. 2 models left, but -9. Are they going to get in? The bacon is squealing. And it does get the charge. Very, very nice play there by the Razorgores moving in, but it looks like it might be point of no return here. Players are both just saying ready and all sorts of good stuff like that. The Bray Shaman caster is back. I don't know if we've seen the second Cygor summon, but it looks like this is going to be a game for the Dowie. I just don't see it happening. I mean, the Beastmen are just so haggard and tattered right now. Yeah, you get a Cygor, kind of cute little bounce power play, but it's not going to do a whole lot. Like, Cygor's in melee. Like, those Dwarf Warriors can occupy it for like 45 minutes if they want to. Looking over here, we do have the Dwarf Warriors backed up by the Master Rune of Oath and Steel, making these Slayers have 60 armor. I love that combo. And the Blackhorn's Ravagers are shaken, being grinded down by the Dwarven Infantry. And that's going to be the game. So Pugnobon with a very decisive game 1. Let us hear your saddest moving sounds in chat, as the build was quite functional for the Dwarves. Iron Drakes nuking those down. 5 Harpies though, man. Like, the Chariots should have sat back. If the Chariots had sat back, Harpies went in, and then the Chariots moved in, I honestly think Samurai could have won that game. It just came down to the execution, which the Dwarves were able to get the upper hand in. So, updating the scorecard here. I know some of you guys may be a little bit curious about the value here, so we'll tickle that pickle. 1100, 500, 1100. Quarrelers all doing pretty well for themselves, and yeah. GG, well played. Kazook. I know, let it happen. Time for the Bone Zone, baby. It's been far too long. Bone Zone is map. I have to type Bone Zone in all caps just to stay in character. All right. A grudge satisfied. Yeah, there's some sad mooing for sure. Yeah, poor Beastman. Exsanguination moo. Oh, God. Oh, man. Time to move to a new faction now, yeah. I'm surprised we didn't see, like, Bestigors. Bestigors are pretty good against Dwarves. I mean, they're okay. They would have been really good against that build. Bestigors would have been super strong. That build didn't really have anything that could deal with Bestigors. I think if he had just come in with 3 of them, like, the Dwarves would have really struggled, but yeah. The Dowie do it, man. They did it. It was still a close-ish game, yeah. Misha knows the Bone Zone. Knows what's up with that. Yeah. It's all good. Well, looks like there was one too many Harpies, but it didn't end up mattering in the end. We carry on. Yeah, so basically we would have had to... If Samurai had ended up winning that, there was a small rule break because he had too many Harpies on his army, but... It's all good. Didn't matter in the end. Man, I'm so excited for Game 3 to see Chaos getting Furies. The Furies looked really neat. I'm actually really excited to play the Khorne roster. I know a lot of people are like, Khorne and Nurgle, man. I'm so hyped for that. I'm just going to play some Khorne quick battles and yell blood for the Blood God and just get super hyped. It's going to be super fun. Yeah, that'll be fun. Just go out into the street in front of my house and yell it at the top of my lungs. Honestly, the Beastmen have the tools to defeat the Dwarves. It just was... There was a couple mistakes made. I don't think it's like the Beastmen are like, oh, they can't defeat the Dwarves. They totally can. There was just mistakes were made, and that's what happened here. Yeah. Like, the Minotaurs were subpar. The Chariots got nuked down because of misplay. The Harpies were not used in the most effective manner. There was just a fair amount of misplays, yeah. Yeah, Tzeentch is going to be cool too. Yeah, Matt. But I kind of like the idea of having an army where I don't have to worry about magic. You know, with Khorne, I can just be like, all right, let's blood for the Blood God. Let's go. Yeah, Northgard, is that the RTS game with like has like Vikings, it has like Slavs, a couple other cultures? I can't remember. Does it have a big community though? Yeah. Warcraft 3 though is Warcraft 3 is like my off meta day. When I want to do something aside from Total War, Warcraft 3 is like the one that always calls to me. It's Pillar of Bone. Alright, I'll change the maps so hopefully it appears correct for the players. The winner of this series will be going to face the Great Hadres in the Grand Finals. They'll both be qualifying since we're combining the 7th and 8th qualifier today, but there still is a small cash prize. Each qualifier has a little cash prize, and then from there, the Grand Finals will have like sponsorship and, you know, bigger prize pools and things like that. Yeah. Hey, Turin, will Creative Assembly make quality of life improvements to the multiplayer for Game 3? I think so. My wager for game 3 is that we are going to get a new ladder. I think Creative Assembly is going to take over control of the ladder because currently the ladder is run through Steam. That's why it never gets like reset and it's just kind of terrible. So I think Creative Assembly will take over the ladder, giving the multiplayer a more fluid experience. Secondly, I think we're going to have obviously domination mode, which will change everything, and that probably will be the standard ladder. And yeah, I think there will be quality of life changes. The one thing I would say maybe we don't get is like head-to-head improvements. I think we'll get co-op, but I don't know. You never know. You never know. Did Warcraft 3 Reforged ever make a comeback? Not really, but Warcraft 3 is still such a great game that like it can even survive the Reforged debacle, you know? Is there a reason they're combined? Yeah, there is. So the reason why I combine these two qualifiers is because I have to get surgery on my hand this coming week. So I wanted to wrap up the basic season so I could start scheduling like a couple weeks ahead for when I recover to do the grand finals. Yeah. So that's why we combine these two qualifiers, is simply because I'm going to be offline for a little while and I don't want there to be too much of a lapse. All right, so they're checking builds, deciding on what they want to play. I don't think we're going to get dedicated servers, but yeah. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a new ladder, which I would love to be able to go on, do a stream, and like push the ladder and see how high I can get. Like a good ladder with solid, you know, multiplayer infrastructure. Like I'd be really excited for that. And limited seasons, if CA did like seasons that lasted like 2 months and people could, you know, fight for it, I think that'd be really fun. It's Warcraft 3 refunded, yeah. Yeah, I remember. No, I don't know anything about how the Tzeentch units are going to like split with like, yeah, pink horrors and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, Samurai, that would be a really nice one. That would be really nice. What's your favorite soundtrack in the game? Somebody asked. Well, the Vampire Coast Sea Shanty is amazing. But I also really like the Dwarf and Empire cinematic trailer audio. Like the songs in the Dwarf trailer is really badass, and so too is the one for the Empire. Those are probably two of my favorite ones. Yeah, thank you, Deacon and HGM. Appreciate that. It'd be cool to see a bottom and top tier rise. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what the ladder will look like in Game 3. We did ask about that in the developer interview, so hopefully we'll get some goodies there. All right, so wow, a Tomb King's pick. These two gentlemen are certainly playing factions you don't see a lot. Tomb Kings obviously have had the worst win rate lately, but it's not to say they're... I mean, yeah, it's weird. They have a really bad win rate, but like it's mainly just because of like burning head effects. Like if you don't face off against that, like I still feel like Tomb Kings are very good against Lizardmen. Let's see what's going on here. Are they picking? Okay, GG being said by both players. So we have a Tomb Kings pick from Pugnobon. I didn't see if Samurai... Yeah, okay. Tomb Kings versus Lizardmen. On a smaller map, who Shopty Grapo should be quite strong here. Tomb Kings used to be considered very favored against Lizards. And I still think they have an okay matchup there, honestly. Yeah. Like, I would feel comfortable playing Tomb Kings against Lizards. One of the hard things to deal with is killing the Lizardman infantry. They tend to grind you down over the long fight, but yeah, I'm hyped for it. Can you briefly explain domination mode? Yes, Aziz, I can. Hope you're doing well, by the way. So, domination mode, we don't have too many details yet, but I will illuminate whatever details I have. So, basically, we asked them in the developer interview if there was anything new for multiplayer, and they said that there is a new game mode coming, which is domination mode. Domination mode is going to be a multiplayer quick battle feature, which there are capture points or objectives on the map. You win some sort of victory point by holding the objectives. The idea behind this being is that if you have the objectives, your opponent isn't going to be able to draw kite you. They'll just lose the game. In theory, we don't know about in practice. In theory, it gets rid of a lot of the bullshit we deal with draw kiting, people not engaging, all that sort of crap. It's less policing we have to do. So there's objectives. You can fight the battle and win based on, just killing your opponent's army, or you can win on objectives. I think the objectives are more of like a surefire way to make sure that the game actually moves forward. Now, the second thing about domination mode that we know is that there is going to be a reinforcement mechanic. So basically, from what I understood in the interview, each player will have a certain amount of like reinforcement resources where they can summon a unit from their army's roster to come in. This helps deal with build roulette, where players basically instantly lose based on a build if they bring the wrong thing. So you can slightly adjust it. Now, from the feeling I got was that it's not going to be a lot. It's like you might get like a couple thousand gold to work with to summon in reinforcements, right? So I actually really like those changes. I've talked to some people who don't like them. I've talked to some people who do, but I personally am a big fan of both of those changes. Build roulette is certainly a little bit annoying. It's not as much of an issue in other RTS games because you can scout your opponent's buildings, but here you can't. You kind of go in blind. Now, of course, there's an established meta. There's safe builds, but I think that will encourage more build diversity because let's say you go for like, you know, a really funky all-in build in one way, but you can like be like, oh, okay, that I can bring in a couple handgunners to deal with those flying units. But like, I hope it's not too much reinforcements. I hope it's just a couple units, maybe like 3,000 gold worth or something would be cool. Because then you could summon like a Demogryph Knight, a Halberd, and a handgunner, right? And boom, that's all you're getting on top of your army. So that more or less is it. Yeah. Hadres raises a great point in chat. It can't really truly become an efficient esport if we have to police the rules as a community. The battle environments need to become more closed. They need to become something that the game itself polices. So we don't have to sit here like updating these community rules all the time and enforcing things that have gray areas. It's really not a healthy thing for an esports community. It's something that our esport community has done an excellent job adjusting to and moving forward with. But at the end of the day, it's not healthy for the long term. So adding in these conditions is great. I can't tell you how many people I've beaten in a ladder game only to be draw-kited around the map and shit-talked. You know, it's unfortunately, it's not super common, but it does happen enough that it discourages new players from wanting to play. And the ladder is the first entry point we have. Okay, they're the first entry point that most people have in a multiplayer. And the ladder experience right now is quite terrible. So, you know, they need to fix that. And I think that's what domination mode is an attempt to do. And I'm very hopeful. The gentleman who's kind of handling it is, I don't know if you guys know CA Duck, but he's awesome. He has been like a huge ally of the multiplayer community. On top of that, he comes from he's a former, well, still a competitive Total War Warhammer player. He's played in tournaments, he's played in my ECLs, and he's the battle designer for Game 3. So I'm very confident going forward. Anyways, rant is over now. Yeah, the classic battle will remain, I'm sure. It's going to be an option. So if domination mode happens to suck, which I don't think it will, but if it does, we can just go back and play these battles again and just continue on our merry way. But I'm very hopeful for the future, and I hope it's good. Ladder is very toxic, yes. I mean, you know, 80% of the time you're going to have a good experience on ladder, but there's that 20% where it just like makes you not want to play the game. Yeah. Yeah, CA Duck is awesome. He gives me a lot of hope. Like, the fact that he's working there really, really, you know, calms the old nerves about the future. Outside of this community is multiplayer. You know, multiplayer overall is like in the actual like community within Discords and that we run on our channels is very friendly. But, you know, there's a small toxic element on quick battles. Warbali, I have no idea. I'm sure sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of faith in the Duck. He is an awesome guy. I've had the chance to meet him in person. And he's one of us, you know. That's the biggest thing. He's one of us. He's been in these tournaments. He's experienced everything we've experienced. And I have a lot of faith that he's going to do a great job with it. So, Maximilian, you know, that's the thing. I highly recommend getting your matches in the Discords. Like, Anticity did an excellent job setting up the ladder within our Discord. So we actually have, well, Anticity has the ranked ladder he's created, which is awesome. I play on it from quite a bit. But yeah. Anyways, guys, rant is over. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that diatribe. Now, here's Pugnobon. Frontline is going to be Tomb Guard. So we've got double Tomb Guard backed up by the Kepra Guard. So pretty elite front line. I mean, you do have Wind Blast in this matchup, but the Lizardmen, without bringing a Fire Salon, don't have Lore of Fire. And Fire Salon is super uncommon. So I think the Tomb Kings are a little bit safer to actually build like an elite front line here. 2 basic archers, just to shoot pterodons, monsters, things like that. Do we have the Blessed Legion? Does not look like it. It's going to be Setcher the Imperishable on the Chariot of the Gods. Nehekar Horseman on the flanks. 2 Shopty Great Bow. And yeah, I like this. He's got like anti-monster. Great Bows to kill monsters, Chariots and Setcher to kill infantry. He's basically checked all of his boxes. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I really like this build. I've always felt like this makes for a really fun matchup. The Tomb Kings versus the Dinos. Good luck, have fun. So currently Pugnobon, our Tomb Kings player here, is up a game. If he wins this, he'll be advancing on to the grand finals to face Hadres. But if Samurai wins it, we're going to a rubber match. And things will certainly get very, very interesting. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's do it. Cetra the Imperishable. Will he perish today? Will his expiration date come? Chariot of the Gods, definitely one of the cooler looking models in the game. I mean, look at this beauty here. This is so cool. Cetra definitely has some good targets. The Lizardman army, Pterodon Riders, very good against archers. Ushapti, annoying in general. Chameleon Skinks are Chameleon Skinks. I feel like Chameleons aren't as devastating against Tomb Kings because they have a ton of cheap, well-shielded chaff units, but still they can do work, of course. Krokar with Hand of the Gods. We do also have a Manticore Summoner here for our Champion of Han Clan. Saurus Warriors for the grind. Feral Cold Ones. Look at that. Triple Clever Girl. All right. I love the Clever Girls. Clever Girls are actually quite good in this matchup. I like them because for 450 gold, you get a really solid armor-piercing beatstick. Now, if they can catch a Ushapti Greatbow, they will Jurassic Park those hoes for sure. So, those are the Feral Cold Ones. That is it. Welcome, Gojira. How you doing? So now the battle line moves in, preparing for glorious combat. Pretty nice map for the Tomb Kings. They can kind of hug this little terrain piece here and, kind of take off one angle of attack, but not that big of a deal. Basically, the Lizardmen are going to be able to get a full surround. They can come back around here and surround the army and just kind of do their thing. So, totally fine. So here it comes. Ushapti Greatbow are shooting downtown, going into the Saurus spears with shields. I guess there's not too many other targets right now, but the chariots definitely should go forward. Because by sending the chariots forward, you force the dinosaurs to send their big threats forward, at which point, oh, Hand of the Gods coming in early. Oh, Cetra kind of jukes it. He dodged a couple of those shots, but still takes some heavy damage. Hand of the Gods, a very nasty ability, but the chariots so far doing good. Cetra rolling, but he's got to be careful not to overextend. The Clever Girls are coming. Looking to feast on Cetra's soul. One of them does a cute little hop right there, and looks like Cetra will be escaping. As the Kepra Guard shall pile in. Kepra Guard are very strong. Without Burning Heads, they're a super effective unit. It's a shame, because Burning Head just kind of really nullifies their effectiveness in like 80% of matchups. Now, the Archers shooting into the exposed flank of the Saurus. So far, the Tomb Kings have held back the onslaught, but the Lizards have yet to unleash their full power. The Manticore Summon is being used, and Krokar is dueling Cetra. A little bit problematic here for Pugnobon, as Krokar plus the Manticore will be able to easily dispatch Cetra. Krokar is an anti-large duelist, and he probably has another Hand of the Gods, which is going to be coming off cooldown relatively soon. Now here the Manticore Summon is being used to actually go after the Ushapti Greatbow. And Manticore will be able to do some good work. Pterodon Air Force flying in. The Pterodons need to rock drop on top of the Skeleton Archers. That's 100% their best play here. And now Krokar has actually been trapped by the Nehekara Horsemen. Very good usage there. And where are the rock drops? We haven't seen them yet. Rock drops also very good on top of halberds if you can get Kepra Guard and or the Tomb Guard halberds while they're tightly packed. Oh, this is going to be a nice play. He's going to drop it right on top of those. Nice one right there. So he got the Palhawks of Sentinels to do their payload here on top of the Horsemen, which were very tightly packed around Krokar. So far, seems to be paying those dividends right there. So Lizardmen still moving forward. The Saurus obviously dominating the Skeletons, but the Tomb Guard holding very well with 69 models. Those boys knew how to live in both life and death, and now they continue to grind forward through the Saurus. With the help of Cetra, the two elite Tomb King's infantry are able to win their fight. Just goes to show that without Burning Head, the Tomb King's infantry actually can be quite formidable here as they defeat the Saurus battle line. Kepra Guard being charged by the Clever Girls, but they do have regeneration, which is very nice, so they should be able to heal through most of the DPS here, although they're taking a little bit of damage themselves. They defeat the Saurus, so it's not often that you see a Tomb King's front line actually win. But in this case, with the support of the chariots, Cetra the Imperishable just kind of drifting across the ranks. Oh my god, that Hand of the Gods is so disgusting! Oh my god! Cetra just got nuked! And now, Pugnobon here has got to be careful. It seemed like he was in a pretty comfortable position, but with Cetra taking that much damage, Cetra is a very expensive army piece. And he's kind of running into Chameleon Skinkfire. He doesn't have too much of a choice here. Ushapti going to be summoned to attack those Saurus here. And now the Ushapti Greatbow is also being attacked by the flanking Saurus. So this whole flank here did go a little bit south for the Tomb Kings, and Pugnobon going to be trying to run with the Ushapti Greatbows. They are hunted down by these anti-large spears. The spears, of course, will easily dispatch them. Cetra probably needs to try and get to that side of the battlefield. Looks like a little bit of lag here. Of course, we have players connecting from... I'm not sure where Pugnobon is from, but I know that Samurai is from China, so we can have some connection issues from time to time. But the Manticore summons Swiggity Swooty coming for that Cetra, and might be able to get him. It's a nice attack there. Cetra might be pretty close to crumbling. No, leadership holding firm. Cetra really showing why he is indeed the imperishable one. A man of many titles, but Manticore summons, of course, very strong. 18 leadership. Tomb Kings need to get some mass over here, something, anything. Even some infantry to tar pit that Manticore would be very good. But it looks like the Lizards are slowly starting to kind of take over the game. I mean, with Krokar being so healthy and Cetra being, you know, potentially on death's bed here, the Ushopti Grapo being chased down by just like, you know, all these spears and different units, very, very problematic. And now the Manticore is battling Cetra. It does get one really nice attack. He needs to live. Cetra needs to survive this Manticore in order for the Tomb Kings to have a chance, in my opinion. Because he'll be very good at clearing out, you know, the rest of the infantry here. If he could just stay away from Krokar, he could still generate big value. It's a really nice play, though, by Cetra. He pretty much pumped the brakes, and the Manticore overextends, and then he pulls back. And looks like he only took about 400 or 500 damage from the Manticore, but that's still substantial. Balance of power, still Lizard favored. The Tomb King's infantry still fighting pretty well. Ushopti Summon able to take out those Saurus there, but I feel like Krokar is going to be the breadwinner. Cetra moving into a bunch of spears, and obviously with the mass changes in the most recent patches, it's very easy to get caught in spears if you're, you know, not terribly high mass. Cetra has okay mass. It's not bad, but the Ushopti Grapos fighting. Krokar coming out there, looking to finish off Cetra. That Hand of the Gods, just pure devastation earlier. Just so much damage, man. Those type of abilities are crazy. Still do have a lot of Tomb Guard, though. Could there be some hope for the Tomb Guard? I mean, the Chameleon Skinks still have a lot of ammo left. It looks like all 4 of them are like full health with a lot of ammo. And Cetra is just kind of running up into the hills right now. So he is serving Krokar, it would appear, as he does disappear up into the high ground. Tomb Kings still have their Skeleton Spearmen and 1 unit of Ushopti Grapo. They could maybe find a nice firing concave for those Ushopti Grapo. That'd be very strong. But Krokar's coming. He's got the Hand of the Gods, baby. He's borrowing some technology from I guess, some Space Marines, I suppose, with that Power Fist of his, as he continues to chase down the Ushopti. Looking around, what do the Tomb Kings have left? We have 62 halberds here. We also have some archers. 82 Tomb Guard and another 48 Tomb Guard. I mean, the Tomb Guard presence isn't a joke. If Cetra was at like half health, this balance of power, I think, would be more or less even, right? I think it'd be a pretty close fight. Cetra's HP, 463, 14 leadership. That bad boy is running for the hills. And now back here, we do get the Tomb Guard and other elite infantry piling in. I've actually seen a lot of games with Tomb Kings where, in matchups in which their Tomb Guard and their Tomb Guard halberds do not get karate chopped early on, that the Tomb Guard can grind out wins. Obviously, because they're undead. Doesn't mean they're quote-unquote unbreakable, but they're not breakable in the traditional sense. Of course, they can crumble down and things like that. But yeah, maybe these Tomb Guard should flank in here, although I guess it looks like they're trying to screen out the Chameleon Skinks. Somehow these Ushopti got back online. Cetra looking like he might want to fight these Clever Girls. The Clever Girls are charging back in. And now they've smelled, well, I was about to say they smell blood in the water, but in this case, they probably only smell bone and dust and some other decrepit things. Cetra might as well turn and fight here. The Clever Girls will be able to kind of keep pace with him. I don't know if it's worth it, because he could probably break them, honestly, even before he goes down. It's very, very close. Yeah, really nice Flock of Doom. Tomb Kings look like they lost the game. We're going to be going to a rubber match. Han Samurai claiming victory here against the Bone Daddies with Krokar, Hand of the Gods, man, doing some work. GG, well played to both of these fine players, and we are going to a rubber match today. We've had some very, very good duels. Happy to see this. We had Xiphos versus Hadres, of course, going to Game 3, and now we have this one going to Game 3 as well. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining. So, taking a look here, poor Cetra was held to 500 value, which is very painful for the Pug here. Pugs are, I love Pug dogs too. Pug dogs are my favorite. Chariots did okay. I mean, nothing in the Tomb King's army really seemed to pack punch except the infantry. The infantry actually, not a crazy amount of value, but they at least sustained, right? But yeah, it really just came down to Cetra taking that damage. That was the big deciding factor for sure. So, well played to those two champs. And now, my friends, let us load on over to the next match, the rubber match here in the series, as we go here. 1-1. And let's go ahead and do it. All right, so for the next map, we can do a little bit of River Amazon. Map set, good luck, have fun. We'll see what the players pick here. Certainly some options. Feral Cold Ones. Yeah, the Clever Girls hunted down Cetra for sure. Yeah, Tomb Kings have been having a rough run in the meta lately. And I have to say, too, you really feel it. When I've been playing Tomb Kings with some of my pals, I've been struggling with them. I always feel like I'm kind of fighting on the back foot a little bit. Although it didn't used to feel that way. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Because they have really good... Like, Ark in the Black is one of the best lords in the game. Cetra is pretty good. You know, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird being undead that can't, like, heal. You know, it puts them in a weird category for sure. I feel like if Lore of Nehekara had, like, a healing spell, it would be, like, a whole different beast. Like, they would be fine. Hello, dead like me. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Tomb Kings are in a strange spot. Turin, outside of the meme, is Cetra and other Tomb Kings? Yeah, so Cetra is good in multiplayer. Ark in the Black is one of the best lords in the game, in my opinion. He's very, very good. And like the summons, the shield, the lore of magic is very powerful. I think Arkan is probably the best lord for the Tomb Kings. Kalita is okay. She's very niche. She's not as bad as people think. If you put her on the snake, she can be a good cheap duelist. Katep is a bit of a meme. And the basic Tomb King is actually good. He has a decent item, that the Scorpion armor, whatever it's called. So yeah, Tomb Kings have good lords. It's not really their lords that are the problem. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I liked Pugnobon's build too. I'm trying to think of what you could do differently. You know who I'm a big fan of actually is using Necropolis Knights with the lances against lizards. They're shielded and they do pretty well against a number of threats. They can kill infantry, monsters. Ushapu Great Bow for sure, very strong there. But a lot of lizard players aren't going to bring targets for Great Bows nowadays. So Arkan the Black is very good because he's just got insanely good abilities and items. So firstly, he has one of the best lores of magic in the game via death. He's got his own version of the Shield of the Old Ones, the Liber Mortis, which gives 44% physical resist in a big area. He has the Tomb Blade of Arkan, which gives you 5 summons of skeletons, which have a higher model count. And the Staff of Nagash is very good too. It lowers his cooldowns, just makes all his other items even better, right? So Arkan the Black is just very, very good. Yeah, Arkan is more competitive for sure. Yeah. But Cetra can be really good. I mean, Cetra is a good lord. Cetra is not bad. Pretty good in combat. Some decent mount options circumstantially. The Hand of the Gods was just brutal there, though. Yeah, that was just brutal. Foot Cetra for the memes. I feel like Cetra is too proud to be on foot. Cetra has to be on the mighty steeds. It's some delicious H2O. So how's everyone doing? What is it, Saturday today? I don't know what year it is, let alone, yeah, 2021. Okay, it's Saturday. Just losing track of time. It's crazy shit. Time flies. I feel like I started my YouTube channel like 2 years ago, but it's been like, what, 2016? Like 4 or 5 years? Some shit right there. It's been a long time. How many of you guys have been here since like year 1? Out of curiosity, how many of you guys and gals? When did we start? When was my first video posted? I think like 2016 or something. Yeah. It's been quite a journey. So thank you guys all for traveling this journey with us. We have a pretty cool, awesome community here. All right, so greenskin pick coming in. No, greenskins, wood elves, and vampire counts, banning wood elves. So Pugnobon now gets to pick and ban one. Straight chilling. Yeah, Andrew knows what's up. Sunday in New Zealand, nursing a hangover. Yeah. You know, as someone, I do YouTube full time. This is my full time gig. Like YouTube plus the pandemic really just like killed your sense of time, because doing YouTube, you don't really have like set weekends off. You just kind of, you know, it's just all over the place, right? But on top of that, with the pandemic, like being trapped in, you really just like lose track of time. I actually have a really haggard beard right now. Yeah, you guys will see it soon. I'll use a face cam sometime in the next few weeks. I have like just the dirtiest beard and mustache right now. It's so filthy. Oh my God. Just sitting in, 32 years old in my boxers, sitting here with just this filthy beard at 4 p.m. in the middle of the day. Yeah. Misha says, it's been ages, man. I still remember the Geist ambush on Italian Spartacus when you broke out from your Vampire Count's fortress with the flying beasties. Yeah. Holy shit, that's some old school shit, Misha. Yeah. I miss the head-to-heads with Italian Spartacus. That was probably some of my favorite content and most fun I've had on my channel ever. HEM, an old school subscriber, did, yeah, back in Warhammer 1. Hell yeah. Zardar, no, because I'm literally in my boxers right now while I have some shorts on, so I don't feel like doing a shirtless stream today. It's a little bit hot. You know, I want to grow this haggard beard and see how it looks. Yeah, because I want to have, like, the beard and a mullet. I think that'd be really funny, so I don't know. We'll see. The tease is unbearable. I know. The beard reveal. Nate Garrett, thank you for the $5. Appreciate it. Like, Spartacus grows this, like, epic Leonidas beard, and I just grow this, like, this terrible, patchy, like, monstrosity. It's not, like, bad soup. It's not as bad as it could be, but it certainly needs some work. Nobody in my family really grows, like, great beards and mustaches and stuff like that. Except my grandpa. He had a pretty good one. Why did he stop the head-to-head? Well, Italian Spartacus isn't as interested in, like, head-to-heads right now. Because he's covering a lot of diverse games. Like, he's doing, you know, like, the Paradox games and Total War and all that. So, yeah. But we'll get back to it. Like, when Warhammer 3 comes out, we'll probably do some head-to-heads or co-ops or something like that. I'm slowly becoming a Norskin, yeah. You'd have to braid my beard. Yeah, Misha, it's a fair trade. We trade the beard hair for the mullet, yeah. Turin the Wanderer. Lady Turin she's on the fence with it about the facial hair. She kind of like at times is like, oh, that looks good on you. But then there's times where like when I get food stuck in it, she's like, trim it now. Get rid of it. Oh my God. I got some food stuck in it, my mustache like the other day, and it was, oh my God. I can't remember what it was. I think, okay, so I ate Italian food and I had like a meatball sub and I had like a little piece of meatball stuck in it, and like I went to go give her a kiss and she was like, no, no, stop. Oh God, that's so funny, dude. Yeah, I do have the advantage on hair, but Sparty's beard just puts me to shame. Yeah. She's like on the fence about it. She's on the fence about it. Emery. What is the pick and ban rule? So typically, like, someone will pick one and then ban two factions out of all of them, and then the other person does the same thing, and then the winner of game 2 picks 3 factions, bans one, and then their opponent bans one of their 3 and picks one, and yeah. No, don't do it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just storing snacks for later. Oh my God. It happened to me today too. I was having like I made some bacon and eggs for breakfast, and I had some food caught in my mustache before the stream. Oh man. Yeah, that was what was really funny about the dreaded hot dog stream we had. I don't know if you guys saw that. So there was a stream, some of you guys who are newer may not have seen that, but about 6 months ago, we had a stream with Italian Spartacus, myself, Professor Pone, and Gojira, where we did an FFA tournament where every time you lost a game in FFA, so if you were not the winner of the FFA, you had to eat a hot dog. Or 2 hot dogs. So basically, if you lost all the FFAs, you had to eat like 6 or 7 hot dogs. I can't remember. So, and that one, Spartacus had quite a bit of food caught in his beard, though. It was really funny. If you guys haven't seen that, go back and watch it. Oh my God, it was so ridiculous. No, I wasn't looking. There's a green skin mirror happening. Oh. No, not like this. Today's tournament was so good. We were getting beastmen and dwarves and skaven and all this fun stuff, and now we're getting a greenskin mirror match. Oh, damn. Damn. I feel like we need another hot dog stream. Yeah, the hot dog stream was pretty magical. That was 6 months ago, dude. It was 6 months ago. I don't know. Yeah, we'll try and maybe when there's like some new content, we'll do another hot dog stream. I don't know. If you just search Turin hot dog stream, it'll come up Drakengard. Yeah. I ended up eating. So how it worked is there was 4 FFA games in total that day. In your first 2 losses, you had to eat 1 hot dog. But then if you lost more than that, games 3 and 4, you had to eat 2. So a maximum of 6 hot dogs is what it was. Yeah. Mirror matches are terrible. Kielbasa would be good, yeah. I'll do a Kielbasa stream when Kislev comes out. Like, I'll stream their campaign and just, like, have, like, Kielbasa wrapped around my head as, like, a headband. And then just, like, take bites of it over the course of the stream. Dude, we'll for sure do a Kielbasa Kislev campaign stream. I'll summon my honorary Polish card that my wife has gotten me. No, don't do it. I love that meme so much. Oh man, those pictures from the hot dog stream still haunt Professor Pons and Darko, man. That's funny, dude. Oh man. That seems like a dangerous search. Yeah, it does. All right, so it is a greenskin mirror match. It's official. At least it'll be over quick usually. They usually just rub their meat together for, 3 minutes and then the battle's over, so. Yeah, so we'll do a kielbasa and pierogi stream. Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? So here, we do a Kislev stream, all right? I have a kielbasa necklace made of, like, Polish kielbasa. And then I have a plate full of pierogi, okay? Every single battle we win, we eat a pierogi. Oh, yeah. Because I could legit eat, like, 40 of those. I'm trying to think, what other conditions could we add? I don't know. Yeah, a pierogi. We'll do like a Polish Kislev stream. For those of you who don't know, my wife is Polish. So She's given me the honorary Slav card. Although I don't think... Mostly Irish and Italian in terms of ancestry, but you never know. I got some other stuff in there as well. Yeah, we got the greenskin mirror match. Yep, that's it. The classic duel of duels. The sweatiest of matchups. It's like, I feel like it's like punishing your opponent for picking them. It's like, oh, you want to pick them against me? Well, here, have them right back at you. Pierogi is so goddamn good. If you guys haven't had like a good Polish pierogi, you have yet to live. It is so amazing. The kielbasa necklace. It's happening, man. It's happening. Yeah, it's so awesome. Whenever we go to visit Anna's family in Poland, which we're actually going out in, I'll be going out in July at some point. They always have their house stocked with kielbasa. And I just like roll in there, you know, looking slim and fit, and like, and then I just eat like kielbasa for like a week and with bread, and I just become a sausage. It's like, it's one of my favorite things ever. Okay. Nate Garrett says, I once ate 37 hot dogs in an attempt to qualify for the Nathan's hot dog contest. Holy shit, that's impressive, dude. That is really impressive if that's true. I don't know if you're just making a joke, but if that's actually legit, that's very impressive. HGM, that's funny. So, yeah, honestly, your best bet is probably to try and find like a Polish restaurant and get the pierogi there. Making it at home is pretty tricky. Yeah. Like California has a lot of Polish restaurants, and we even have like Polish markets. Like about 30 minutes from where we live, we found a Polish market, which the woman who owns it is from Poland, and she came here with her mom, and the mom I think is like in her 70s or 80s, and they run this Polish market together. It's very traditional. So we'll go there occasionally and get some stuff. Yeah. So good. The pierogies in grocery stores are okay, but they're not, dude, it's nothing. You can't, no, it's not going to do it justice. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah, it's not, like, they're still yummy, but it's nowhere in the ballpark of actually being, like, a legitimate pierogi. Yeah. That's probably one of my favorite things about going to Poland is the food. Just feasting. Yeah, I like borscht a lot. Borscht is really good. We have a place here near where I live that does borscht, and it's delicious. They do more of like a Ukrainian style borscht though. Like the Polish borscht, I think has like less in it. It's like less. It's more like focused on the soup and has like these little dumplings in it. Whereas the Ukrainian one, I'm pretty sure has. I'm not sure if I'm getting it right, so correct me if I'm wrong. But it has a lot more stuff in it. How many hours do you have in Warhammer 2? A lot, dude. A lot. Yeah. So we got a greenskin mirror match coming. Hopefully you guys don't mind me just not ranting about the matchup, but it's just... We'll get into it once the battle loads in. I'll give you guys a breakdown on the mirror match and the nuances and all that sort of good stuff. But right now I feel like talking about pierogi and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, borscht is delicious. Kielbasa is great. Pashtet is really good. Like pashtet with like horseradish and like bread is like an amazing snack. Bigus is probably my favorite. One of my favorite meals, like Polish meals. Bigus. It's like a hunter stew. It's like cabbage with like with like all these like sausage in it. It's so goddamn good. Have you tried Jurek? Yeah, I have tried that. All right, let's do it to it. Let's just ignore this match and talk about food. Well, technically we're not in the match yet. Now we're here. Now we can start talking about the good stuff. Turin, have you ever tried Austrian ambrosia known as... No, I haven't. I haven't. Yeah. So, my friends, we are here. Let's break it down. One last time in the deep here in this rubber match. We have the glorious hordes of Pugnobon, which are going to be savage orcs, backed up with some archers and some spider riders. Very, very surprising. With Azag the Slaughter. Okay, so we got Azag here with Spirit Leech and Aspect to the Dread Knight. And now for the forces here of Han Samurai, going with a little bit more of a heavy army, less Savage Orc. So, okay, this is good. We actually have like a Savage Orc army facing off against a Black Orc army. So it's going to be Savage Orcs with Error Boy support, Azag up in the sky, and Spider Riders for Pugnobon. And for Han Samurai, He has a goblin front line ready to be sacrificed to the gods, backed up here by black orcs. So it's going to be triple black orc, Grom the Punch, goblin big boss here, and an orc shaman. Pretty cool. I love these. I love these armies. At least there's some variety to them. No stone trolls, very surprising. You do also have some goblin wolf chariots over here for Han Samurai. Toe Seeker. I love the icon, man. You got the Foe Seeker one. It says, keep it up, daddy. We will. Thank you so much for the 50. Appreciate that. Yeah, you have the Foe Seeker icon, which is really funny. Yeah, from Total War, if I'm not mistaken. All right. It is time. Let us do it. Let's see how the dreaded green... Who do you guys think is going to win this, first and foremost? Do you think it's going to be the Black Orcs or the Savage Orc Biggins? The Black Orcs should win that duel head-to-head simply because of their armor, but you never know. Azag is here, and he's pretty powerful himself. Grom should have some problems with Azag. Azag, in theory, should win, but Grom is a deceivingly powerful duelist. With his items popped, he might actually be able to win, but it looks like he only brought Lucky Banner. He didn't bring his axe, so he's not going to be getting that like steroided out damage buff and things like that. So we'll see how it goes. No Crimson Killers. Yes, that's correct. We have a donation coming in from Gallahan as well. I did miss that. Gallahan, thank you so much for the $50. Who is best, Gork or Mork? No cop-out answers. God. I've always liked saying Gork more myself, but it's a tough one. So we'll just roll with Gork right now. I don't even know the nuances of the two, but it's fun to say. But Mork is so fun to say too. What a conundrum you put me in. Well, there you go. You have it. Let's do it to it. The battles shall commence here as they arrange their skirmishing corps. It looks like Han Samurai has a lot of Forest Goblin Spider Riders, whereas Pugnobon actually with a very defensive formation. Not really going to be contesting the open field, rather counterpunching and just using his cheap archers to force the fighting. Good luck, have fun to both players. We'll typing that in chat. And let's do it to it. Here we go. Spider Riders will win. Yeah, they're certainly very good. So these are basic Goblin Archers. I guess you don't really need anything more than that. The Black Orcs are going to be a problem, though. I feel like the Black Orcs might catch Pugnobon off guard. 3 Black Orcs, of course, trading into Savage Orc Biggins with the support of Grom the Paunch also running in there could be very destructive. And now it looks like the Savage Orcs falling back. Interesting. I'm not sure why. Looks like they're... Oh, okay, they're retreating behind the archers so that the skirmishers of Samurai aren't able to actually connect and do some big damage there. So what are the Wolf Riders looking like here? Just trying to shoot in. Good juking from Pug, basically just occupying their attention with some Spider Riders. Who are shielded and, you know, pretty good at dealing with skirmishing. Spider Riders are, you know, very, very cheap and cost effective. And they can fight in melee pretty efficiently if they have to as well. Firepower coming in from the Goblin Archers, shooting back. Grom the Punch looking like he wants to feast. Azag definitely needs to drift over here. Azag really needs to make sure that Grom doesn't get any freebies. Gotta be keeping him honest this entire game, basically. So... are we going to see Spirit Leeches on Grom? Could be. Although I think Spirit Leeches on the Black Orcs might be a little bit more cost-effective. I think that is the one weakness of Pug's army, is that it's going to struggle against the Black Orcs. Aside from that, it has a ton of stopping power, right? But that heavy armor is going to be a problem. I don't see too much armor piercing here. And what's really weird also is I'm not seeing the ROR Night Goblins coming in from Pugnobon. They're pretty much an auto-include, I feel. Now, Grom the Paunch goes full Chungus mode, runs through those Savage Orc Biggins. The Savage Orcs will be colliding into the Goblins here and just absolute beatdown on the Goblins. They instantly just get pushed back here and run. Fanatics being loosed as well into the Savage Orc Biggins, and now the Black Orcs are in. See, this is what I'm talking about. The Goblins take the charge, and that's a beautiful tactic actually here. So what he did is he pulls back the Goblins, and the Savage Orc Biggins actually still have the wrong attack order, so they continue their charge in the Goblins, and the Black Orcs then get the better engagement. I'm actually making an entire video on that tactic, which you guys will be seeing soon. I'll be starting a series talking about tactics and things like that. So thank you so much for the donation. Arigato. Appreciate that one. Unfortunately, I forgot how to read your name, so appreciate the donation again, my friend. Azag with a good pick here, though, going after the Goblin Big Boss. It looks like the balance power is pretty even. The Skirmishers of Samurai now diving into the backline, though are quickly going to be intercepted here by Pugnobon's forces. The first Wah goes down in the valley, and the first Wah advantage. Oh, and the Brainbuster on the big blob here. Beautiful stuff. It seems like Han Samurai is winning most of the engagements. Here, the Black Orcs dominate the Savage Orc Biggins with the cross-hatch engagement we had in the front line. And now these Savage Orcs are starting to be worn down. The Black Orcs are pouring into the back line. I think it's only a matter of time. You know, I hate to call games early, but I really do think that this game is going to go to Han Samurai. And I think a lot of it was a build order win. I think that the Black Orcs were a very optimal choice. Oftentimes when you see Savage Orcs in the mirror matchup, you see Stone Trolls to compensate and provide armor piercing. But in this case, Pugnobon didn't seem to have any armor piercing really to deal with the Black Orcs. And now they're just continuing to go balls deep into the back line. Being intercepted by some Orc Biggins, but those Orc Biggins might win that fight, but at a great cost. The Black Orcs are really going to anchor this down and hold for quite some time. So Grom the Paunch also disrupting. You can see here Aspect of the Dread Knight or Doom and Darkness trying to help break this Greenskin advance. Another beautiful Brainbuster. Yeah, this game is 100% over. It looks like Han Samurai is going to be getting this one. And from there, most likely qualifying for the Grand Finals. Well, he will be. Because Hadres and the winner of this match will be qualifying for the Grand Finals today. But looking at that, yeah, the Black Orcs really able to carry the day. There wasn't any armor piercing in the Force of Pugnobon, and he did pay the Troll Toll for it. The Savage Orc Biggins, I do kind of like the idea of it. It seemed like Pugnobon's army was very focused on dealing with like Stone Trolls and like, you know, chaff-based armies. But when he had to deal with the heavy armor of Grimgor's Chosen here, it looks like Azag is going to be drowned in a horde of green here as the enemy archers just continue taking him to town. GG, well played. GG, well played. And now, my friends, Han Samurai will be playing Hadres in a best-of-5 final. Now, they can take it easy, though, you know, not stress out. They both already qualified because of the nature of today's event. But, yeah, still going to be a great series. A little bit of a cash prize, too. So, yeah, the Black Orcs did very well for themselves. And though they didn't get crazy good value, they held the course. Grom the Paunch, of course, was the beast. Azag didn't do badly either, but in the end, it was just the armor was too much to handle. There you go. 2-1 for the Samurai. Let's go update the bracket. The Samurai of Clan Han will be going to face Hadres in our grand final. So we'll get this lobby all set up here. GG, well played. Samurai, oh, GG, well played. Samurai, stay here for finals. All right. So Hadres, if you're in chat, go ahead and rejoin the lobby, my friend. And we'll get this all set. This one is for the cash prize. They will both qualify. But still, there is something on the line here. Can we expect Chaos Dwarves in Warhammer 3? Hell to the yes. I'm sure the Chaos Dwarves will be coming. Yes. All right. We'll see what happens, man. The Black Orcs, Hank got about 800 to 1,000 value on all of them. And again, thank you so much for that donation in the with the yen. Arigato gozaimasu. So Hadres is here. For the first map, we are going to do Prague. You know what? We could actually do the Bloodpine Woods. That's kind of a map that I've been turned on to lately that I think is quite good. So let me find that one. All right. Looks good to me. Map set. Good luck. Have fun. This is a map you don't see terribly often. But I think it's quite good. Let's load back into the lobbies here. Looks like these scoreboards are all updated, so should be all set there. Now we have the Bloodpine Woods, Hadres versus Han Samurai. This map does have some light foresting on the side, but for the most part is a pretty nice little even deployment for both players. Will Grom choose to confederate Azag after the victory? Most likely so. Typically, I think you want to take those confederations. And let's see what the players do for the picks and bans. Yes, this is the map. And for best of 5, it is double ban for games 1 and 2, then singles from there. Samurai, if you want to go check out the map and come back, you can. This is a map that you don't see a lot in tournaments, but it's been making a bit of an appearance lately, so Samurai might not be familiar with the map, so I'm going to tell him he can go and load in and check out the map if he wants to, and then come back, which is totally fine. Because, you know, either player can do that. People have done that in my tournaments before. Pavao says, Turin, you need to ask your lady about... Yeah, I'll ask her about that for sure. I probably had it, to be honest. All right, looks fine. They're scheming here. Looks like he's good. He says he's fine, doesn't need to go check it out, so the players can proceed with their picks and bans. Turin, which Warhammer 3 faction will be included? It's a pre-order. Chaos Dwarves, Ogres. I don't know. I'd be happy with... I would prefer Chaos Dwarves because I'm more excited for them, but I feel like Chaos Dwarves will probably want to get like a big mainstay DLC shine, so probably Ogres. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So top side of bracket. So yes, samurai. You do. All right. So let's see what they do here. The time is now. What are your predictions? We have Hadres, the King of Skaven. Han Samurai, I've seen him in the finals of many tournaments. I've seen him playing in my son's tournaments in the finals, and it's funny, my son, yeah. Many, many events. A very, very strong player. Poor guy, must be very late in China right now. So he'll do his picks and bans, and we'll go from there. Man, I need to get a better sleep schedule. I really do. Also, yes, if you guys are enjoying the stream, as much as I hate to ask for it, do drop a like. It helps me out quite a bit. More importantly, it helps the video do better, so then more people can discover multiplayer and join our glorious community here. Ogres are going to be fun for sure. Yeah. I just want to use the lead belcher guys, the guys with like the big cannons, the big Chungus guys, and just I guess they're all big Chungus, but yeah, the hobgoblin. Oh, hobgoblins will probably be part of the ogre roster, won't they? All right, so samurai is going lizardmen, banning vampires, and vampire counts, interestingly enough. Yeah, makes sense. I don't know if Hadres plays either of these factions, but you know, not everyone knows their opponents. So yeah, we're gonna get lizardmen in the first map here for Han Samurai, and Hadres will now counterpick. It'd be interesting to see a Skaven pick from Hadres. But yeah, it's gonna be lizardmen for Samurai. And Tomb Kings, okay, we are getting round 2. I'm really curious to see what Hadres does differently against the lizards, because we saw this matchup. We saw this. Yeah, look, Hadres goes Tomb Kings. So we saw Hadres with Empire against the lizardmen earlier, you know, with a bit of an upset in that one, right? And now we're seeing him here with Tomb Kings into lizards. You know, I don't think ogres will be as easy as people think to counter in multiplayer. I think the ogre armies will have like not that many ogre units, and they're going to have a lot of like chaff and you know, unique support units and things like that. So don't sleep, play some more Warcraft 3. We will do Warcraft 3 tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Don't you worry, it'll happen. Yeah, man. I'm so excited. I just want to see the full corn roster. Can somebody just give me that, please? Can you guys give me the full corn roster? Let me know what's going on there. I want to see all their abilities, all that sort of good stuff. Celosis, pumping iron and watching Total War at 1 a.m. That sounds like a good time, man. I really miss lifting weights. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to lift weights in years because of my damn hand problems. It really pisses me off, man. I used to be so into weightlifting, like in a bad way too. I used to just do bench and biceps like nonstop. Although I did pull-ups. I did a lot of back stuff too. I wasn't a complete potato. But yeah, I used to be really into weightlifting back when I was in college, before my cursed hand problem struck, and then I had to give it up and just atrophy into a pierogi, a human pierogi. The new hobgoblins for AOS are Cruel Boys. Yeah, I'm actually considering collecting the Cruel Boys. They look pretty fun. I almost got the Gloomspire Gits, you know, the Night Goblins, but you know, the Cruel Boys seem pretty fun. Yeah. Cheers from Croatia. Hey, right on, man. You know, my favorite MMA fighter, I believe he's... Let me go ahead and double check this. 1 sec here. Yeah, my favorite MMA fighter, Mirko Krokop, is Croatian. I just wanted to double check. I wasn't quite sure. A little bit spacey right now, but yeah. He's definitely was one of my favorites to watch back in the day. Back in, you know, Pride Fighting Championships and all that sort of good stuff. He had an okay run in the UFC, but, you know, it was a little bit towards the late end of his career then. But, yeah, Mirko was awesome. These days, lift your spirits. Yeah, I can still work out my legs just fine. Dude, I used to do bicep curls super hardcore. Yeah, I used to do all the bro stuff, yeah. Yeah. Mirko Krokop, man, watching him in Pride when he had that stare down with Vanderlei Silva, that was like one of the most epic moments ever. Because like everybody was always afraid of Vanderlei, and then like this dude just comes in, this is badass, you know. Just so cool, man. He's a national treasure, yeah. Yeah, he's really cool. So Hadres on Tomb Kings. We saw this matchup before. We saw the Tomb Kings lose, but Hadres probably has something different here. Some schemes. I'm sure we'll see Ark in the Black. Han Samurai most likely will come in with Croc R again. That would be my guess. Is we'll see Croc Crocky Balboa, as we like to call him in the replays. Yeah, Miocic, yeah, Stipe. Yeah, he's great. I hope Stipe can make a comeback. Man, Francis Ngannou in that last fight was just like straight up the Terminator, dude. Yeah, Crow Cop head kicks, KOs are burned into my mind. Yeah, they're pretty legendary for sure. The time of, yeah, the new models from Age of Sigmar. If you guys haven't seen them, we could actually, hold on, let's get some, that's actually some decent in between here. So let me go get the models, the pictures for you guys, and we'll slap them up here. Do not play the audio, please. I do not want to get Games Workshop slapping my stream. I don't know if I have like this set up right now. Hold on. 1 second here. Okay, they're still building their army, so we have a little bit of time. We can do this. Hold on. So studio mode. Try my best to get this going, guys. Okay, that's not capturing the right one. So let's go ahead and add this. And I'm just pulling up the new models for you guys right now, so you can see them if you haven't. All right. So now we can go ahead and transition here. Okay, so these are the new models. If you guys haven't seen them yet, this is the starter box. I really don't care for Stormcast Eternals at all, but like some of the orc models look really good. We can actually zoom down and see them. All right, let's get past all this. Come on, give me the Haggard orcs. Where are they at? Yeah, the cruel boys. Dude, look how cool this guy looks. This guy is so goddamn awesome. Like, he's just riding this like wolf mole rat thing. Definitely. So the whole lore is that they come from the swamps, but like whether or not you like Age of Sigmar, you can't deny this model is freaking amazing. You know what's really funny about this model though? Is that look how short his legs are. Like a lot of people were actually saying like, oh yeah, it's because his knees, but no, like I'll show you later. They have like freakishly stubby legs. And then if you go down here, look at this. Like these could be fantasy models too. I would be totally down to get like this in fantasy. Yeah, check out that shit. Then, but look how short his legs are. You can see the stubby legs, and then they even have the grot, the little like stabby grot here, which is pretty cool. Hey, thank you for the donation. Really appreciate that. My favorite candy bar has donated. Appreciate the 20. Thank you so much. And then you have this guy. This guy looks like straight out of Lord of the Rings. They look like Lord of the Rings models. And then this guy's really cool. They like have the Uruk-hai siege crossbows, you know? Okay, both players are ready. Let them load in. And yeah, a couple more here. You can see the basic troops. These guys are actually important for those of you guys who are like, you know, not wanting anything to do with Age of Sigmar. These is probably what the hobgoblins are going to look like in game 3. Like right there, you're getting like a little bit of a teaser. So the game's loading in right now. Don't worry. But yeah, I think there's more too. If we scroll down, there's like some upcoming ones. Hold on. Nope, don't care about that. Yeah, look at that. They got like huge ballista, and then there's like a troll being rode by like these models are so good. All right. Anyways, back to business. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little detour over into the realm of the orcs. He's standing on a space marine. That troll is awesome, man. There's like, yeah, those models are really, really nice. All right, so if we take a look here at the forces of the Tomb Kings, we have Hadres the Imperishable with Cetra here. So it looks like we're getting Cetra round 2. Aside from that, we got Skeleton Warriors and Spears. However, Hadres has a pretty big skirmishing corps of his own Skeleton Horseman Archers. 4 Carrion unit. Check that out. So we got 4 Carrion. And then in the backfield, we do have a Screaming Skull Catapult and W Shopty Grapo. So the build it has a catapult. The other build did not. Okay. But how is he going to protect Cetra from the hand of the gods? I guess you just got to get sort of lucky and dodge that. Do they come painted? No, they don't. But personally, as someone who, you know, paints a huge 40K, I painted tons of 40K models and some fantasy and Age of Sigmar. Painting is like the best part of it. I love painting. Painting is so much fun. It's like therapeutic. So So yeah, the Tomb King's army here is less elite infantry, I think. I don't think I see any Tomb Guard, actually. Yeah, all chaff here for Hadres. Nope, there is some Tomb Guard on the far side of the formation. So we got Cetra and the Chariot, Carrion Swarm, Double Ushopti, and the Screaming Meme Catapult. And now if we take a look here at the forces of Han Samurai, the exact same build as earlier. He's got the Chameleon Skinks, he's got the Sara Spear battle line, I think mixed in, yeah, on the flanks. The triple Clever Girl, Krokar, and that's pretty much it. Biofoot, come on. The Chariot, yeah, the Chariot's cool. Definitely. You know, Biofoot, I just can't get into it. I can't get into Sigmarites not being like the Sigmarites I know. It's just I like to see humans depicted like the Empire or Bretonia, like more or less normal dudes, with the exception of a couple like Grail Knights, Demogryphs, things like that, fighting against like massive horrors of the old world and overcoming them through like either discipline or like persistence. Like that's what I like to see. So that's why I don't like Stormcast Eternals. I like my humans depicted a little bit differently, you know? Because, like, dude, it's so goddamn awesome to see, like, a warrior priest of Sigmar going to battle a bloodthirster or, like, a chaos champion who's just way bigger and stronger than him and, like, just using, like, that's such an epic thing to me. But then seeing, like, some Stormcast who's, like, you know, a middle linebacker on steroids just, like, plowing through the bad guys, it's like, it's like, I don't know. Doesn't do it for me. Anyways, my friends, we are here. My rant is over, and the battle is underway. The fate of the old world to be decided here by the Ushopti. Will they survive? Cetra taking a relatively cautious approach here in the bushes. We do have Cetra the Imperishable, kind of camping out here a little bit. Avoiding the Hand of the Gods as the catapults continue to scream in there. Yeah, it looks like some shots coming in. Ushopti Grapos obviously don't have too many good targets yet. And that's one of my favorite things about the build here from Han Samurai, is that there are no good targets for the Ushopti Grapos. Not effective to shoot Saras. Shooting Clever Girls is kind of a waste. Krokar is probably like the only good target in the Pterodon Riders, and Krokar is kind of hanging in the back right now. So you can see Krokar is kind of getting ready to party here. So here they come. The Skink cohorts moving forward to engage the Skeleton. Cetra the Imperishable, just like we talked about previously. Very, very good at just killing massive amounts of infantry. But nice play here by Han Samurai. That was really, really smooth. As soon as he saw Cetra moving out to threaten, he actually pulls back. Now, Krokar is moving in. It looks like he wants a Hand of the Gods. You'll notice that Hadres is taking a little bit of a vacation near the forest. He's just kind of staying there just in case he needs to hide. But now Crocky Balboa is probably going to be using Hand of the Gods. There it is! Oh, God, the damage is so good! That wasn't as brutal as the one we saw before. Still very good. Incantation of Protection goes down on Cetra, which will provide him with some minor healing via the Lore of Souls. The Realm of Souls, I should say. And now the Clever Girls and Skinks are swarming onto the flank here against the Skeleton Spearmen. So far, Tomb Kings are holding. You know, much like last game, they obviously held in the beginning, but the inevitable grind of these Saurus Warriors is very, very good. And Cetra is doing a good job bouncing back and forth, actually giving advantageous engagements to many of his frontline fights, which normally would be losses. And that really is how you play Cetra. Yeah, you just kind of get those chariot engagements and help win the infantry fights that you normally lose. Now, Krokar, something's been going down. Okay, all the Ushopti Grapos have been blasting Krokar. Now, this is something we didn't really see last game. Krokar was able to go kind of free willy, as they say. But right now, Krokar juking back and forth with all of his buffs popped, trying to avoid the Ushopti Grapo fire while in the back line. I think that Han Samurai is really feeling the urgency that he needs to shut down the Grapos and these different missile pieces as Krokar now goes on a little bit of an exodus here into the tree line. And should be kind of safe in there as long as he's out of line of sight. Grapos partially attacked, but for the most part, Hadres doing a really good job keeping a tight formation. These Grapos here might be piled into by the spears. Something we did see in the previous game was the Ushopti Grapo not being able to get away from the spear units. And Hadres is running a little bit thin on frontliners. I mean, he's got some spears here. Looks like Carrion are attacking Clever Girls. Oh, that's actually a really, really clever usage by Hadres. Using the Carrion with their 46 melee defense to fight the Clever Girls, it looks like the Carrion are actually trading evenly, if not winning the fight against the Feral Cold Ones. That is a really, really clever usage. I was wondering why we had the Carrion, but perhaps he knew that Han Samurai was going to bring the Clever Girls and responded with Carrion, which are doing an excellent job chasing down Pterodon Riders as well. Normally, Pterodons are very annoying, so the Carrion pick, good against Pterodons, good against Clever Girls. I love that pick from Hadres. Very, very smart play from him. So here, Cetra the Imperishable moving in. What can Han Samurai do here? He's got all of his spears. He's got Saurus Warriors here still fighting. I think just embracing the grind here is probably his best bet. But, man, the Ushapti Grapos have found a big open field to kind of run away. There's no lizards nearby except Krokgar. And Krokgar, he better watch out. I mean, Cetra might be able to even beat him now. Hand of the Gods coming in round 2. Oh, and Cetra gets taken down. Brutal. And the Curse does also pop, hitting all of these units. But that is not going to be quite as devastating as last game, as the current state of the battle is much better for the Tomb Kings. You can see many survivors of the frontline fight. Tomb Guard and Spears. Looks like we do have some Skink cohorts moving in. But the Carrion are distracting the Pterodons here, the Palhux of Sentinels, also occupying the Chameleon Skinks, and somehow this Catapult's still online. But I think Han Samurai doing a good job staying persistent. You know, amazing juking from him with Krokgar. Many an average player would have lost Krokgar a million times over, right, in this battle to those Ushapti Grapos. But he was able to juke, stay aware, kind of keep him in the wings, and just kind of stay calm, really, because it seems like many things are going rough. But he's about to get the Catapult. He's about to get the Ushapti summon off the table here with the timer. And yeah, it's a closer battle than it would appear to be. Although the fact that Cetra is having free range, like in the previous game we saw, Cetra more or less had to run for most of the battle. But now Cetra has been able to be really active now. Got to be careful about not pushing into Skinks here. Those little chameleons could actually bring him down very low. So definitely smart not to go after them. Going after the chameleon Skinks would be a bit of a death sentence. So balance of power kind of even. We still do have a full health unit of Saurus Spears moving in. Ammunition on the Ushapti Grapos, pretty good. They're now going to be turning around and firing at most likely the Saurus, I think. They got to wear those guys down. And Krokgar just, you know, enjoying life in the trees. He certainly digs it over here as he's in the bushes. And he's just like, hey, man, I'm enjoying it. All's good here. Can't complain. So Ushapti Grapos, what are they shooting at? Looks like they were going after the Palhux of Sentinels. What are the players saying right now? Good luck, have fun on both sides. Cetra the Imperishable getting a little bit of vengeance from earlier, of course. And as far as his kills, he's up to 135. Certainly no joke. Value accrued 1,400. It's mostly been Skinks, but, you know, he'll be very good against the Saurus here as he does run into the trees. Cleaves a couple of those dinosaurs on the way out of the back line and will be making his way back through and just continuing to wear down the models, taking out quite a few. Got to be careful, though. If he gets caught here by those spears, could be a game-changing situation. Right now, we do have a couple Skink cohorts back here trying to bunker bust. I think that Cetra probably needs to get away from these spears. I think he's a little bit trapped on that chariot, down to about 1,800 HP. And Krokgar could emerge from the jungle here, or the forest, I should say. Not really a jungle, but forest. Could be a problem for the Ushapti Grapos, but it looks like these Skinks do shatter just from, you know, taking so much of a beating over the course of the game. And now the Chameleon Skinks looks like they want to pile in and go after the Ushapti. One has about 40% ammunition, the other very, very low, but still a pretty sticky, annoying unit to get rid of. And how are the Tomb Kings looking in the infantry fight? So we still do have 27 Tomb Guard, 66 Spears. 104 here for the Saurus army, 54 Saurus over here, and I think that's pretty much it as far as actual meaty infantry goes. And it looks like the Tomb Kings doing pretty well here, pulling ahead in this battle for the first time. No summons, no false inflations, and we still do have a fair amount of ammunition on Grapos. Not a fair amount, but certainly if Krokgar comes back out, he could be welcomed with a giant shaft to his face. But Han Samurai doing an excellent job fighting despite not having his Lord for like 80% of this game. You know, the Lord has really been kind of forced into the bushes here, but one of the things that really stands out is the carrion play has been excellent this game. And number two, the Ushapti Grapo maneuvering to get away from the lizard pressure has been immaculate, and I think that's been one of the big deciding factors as Krokgar takes a bunch of shafts to the face. Negative 13 leadership, definitely not going to enjoy that, and it looks like Crocky Balboa will be breaking, and Cetra the Imperishable will be pulling ahead, and the Skink ammunition's running quite sparse, which means that Cetra should be able to dominate most of those fights. But army losses is still a ways off. You know, obviously, Crocky Balboa might come back. Let's see. Only 405. Don't think so, man. Don't think so. And here comes Cetra the Imperishable. There he goes, rolling on in. Going to be hopefully running over, for his sake, some of the Skinks here. Trying to salvage those Grapos. And he doesn't cause terror, does cause fear. Obviously, the fear is helpful against these lower leadership units. Saurus Spears moving into fight. The Ushaptis, though, aren't slouches in combat. Even the Bow Shapti can fight okay against these kind of lower tier troops. And Cetra just holding on with 900 HP really shows the power of the Chameleon Skinks here in the fourth quarter of the game, right? The fact that they're still generating substantial value despite, you know, despite, yeah, just being on bare bones here is very, very impressive. So looking around, it looks like there's not much hope for the Lizards. There would have to be a substantial blunder from Hadres. He would have to quite literally give Han Samurai free units. I'm pretty sure we saw both Hand of the Gods, and it looks like Krokgar breaks due to army losses, and that is going to be a Tomb King's victory. Hadres going up 1-0 here in the grand finals. GG, well played. Today's tournament has been quite amazing. A lot of really good games with only a little bit of a mirror match action, which I'm very grateful for. Hopefully we will not see another one here. But Cetra, in the end, 1800 value. Carrion were great. They obviously shut down the Clever Girls, and then the Ushopti Great Bow maneuvering was so good that game. And yeah, Han Samurai played a good game too. It was close. You know, despite his Lord taking a pounding, I think that was really the big thing. If Krokar had been more active in the battle and hadn't gotten sniped early, I think it would have been a very even fight. Could have gone either way for sure. So now we go to the scorecards. We update this, and we can just kind of move on our merry way. So for the next map, we will do the dreaded Castle Drakenhof. Map set. Good luck, have fun. All right. So let's see what the players pick here in this best of 5. That was a really fun game. Very interesting, dynamic, back and forth. That's what I like to see. Pretty sure Hadres has played in like every single qualifier. Has come close a couple times, but it looks like today he's given it his all, as is Han Samurai. I've seen Samurai, I think, in 3 qualifiers. Has done very well. Yeah, that was a good replay. That was a really, really good one. If Hadres wants to send that, I could certainly upload it as a standalone. Currently, right now, I have a lot of replays ready to go up. Trying to prep for my recovery. Yeah, Cetra was great. Cetra was really good. Cetra was a beast. Hadres looking like he wants to go with some hardwood. He's picking Wood Elves. And now that Samurai has played Lizardmen, which are a very common pick against Wood Elves, I think Hadres is going to be feeling very comfortable here. What will he ban? Probably Bretonnia. I'm not sure about the second ban. A couple options to work with. But yeah, should be good. What's the difference between Fear and Terror? Asks the dude. To answer your question, dude, the Fear basically just lowers your leadership by like a couple points. It's not that big. I think it's like between like 4 and 5 or something around there. So Fear just lowers your leadership, but Terror means that when units hit a certain threshold of leadership and a couple other variables in battle, they have the chance to temporarily break for a period of, I don't know the exact time, but they can actually be, their leadership breaks and they run. They come back though. It's not like a permanent break, but they can be then broken while they're terror routed. So it's very strong. Yeah, correct. Fear is a morale penalty. Terror can cause temporary routes. Very well summarized there. Better than I could have put it. Yep. Wood Elves banning Bretonnia and Dwarves. Very smart. So we'll see what Hadres decides to pick here. Han Samurai, not Hadres, Han Samurai here on the pick now. So after this though, the best of 5 changes. We actually go into single bans with best of 5. The first games are pick double ban, but best of 5 it does change a little bit. So I would love to see Samurai pick Beastmen here. I would love to see another attempt with the Beastmen, the dreaded Bray Herd. Yeah, -4 leadership for Fear, thank you. Yeah. Let's see what time it is in China right now. 7:30 in the morning. Oh, damn. Dude, guys, this tournament started like what, 5 or 6 hours ago, give or take? Han Samurai started playing the tournament like 1 a.m. his time and has been playing all through the night. What a beast. Let's get a big shout out to Samurai here for that durability. Oh my God. Been playing all through the night, man. I don't know, maybe his schedule's just like that and he stays up all night anyways and like sleeps during the day. Some people do that for their work and stuff, but man, that is tough. He said he was sleepy before this round started, so oof. Time zones, man. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. But here we are, Hadres for Samurai here. Big props to both players. Yeah, about 7 hours ago, yeah. Usually the tournaments run about 6 or 7 hours. That's very normal. That's soldiering, yeah. Commitment, what a guy, I know. Samurai champ for sure. that's some chat energy, yeah. Yeah, it is, dude. Holy shit. There's a lot of great Chinese players. They have a very strong multiplayer community over there. I had the pleasure of playing in a tournament with a bunch of them, and it was quite fun. Really different builds for sure. Different playstyles. It feels different, which is refreshing. All right, so Samurai right now. Getting his army together, preparing. And doing it to it. Yeah, maybe a schedule's like that. Some people they roll that way. Remember the stories about some, oh man. That's brutal, yeah. Cast regrowth to replenish his vigor. He probably needs a real life regrowth right now. People always ask, like, what lore magic would you take in real life? Why would you not take Lore of Life? You know? Because some people say Lore of Gold, Lore of Metal to make gold and just be wealthy as shit. I mean, that does work too. But then there might be inflation, right? If you, if you make too much gold, then it's not going to have the same value, right? Whereas Lore of Life, you could not only heal yourself and everyone of the world and your loved ones, but with Lore of Life, you could also probably make a fortune. Doctors make a killing. And with Lore of Life, I mean, you could basically be the best doctor out there, right? So, I don't know. Yeah. Other channels I'd recommend, it depends on what you're looking for. You need to let me know. Do you want multiplayer, like kind of similar to what I do? You want some campaign stuff? You want casual campaigns? You want like min-max campaign? I can recommend channels for more or less everything you're looking for. So you would take Lore of the Dark just so you could steal people's souls and just be Shao Kahn? Lore of Vampires? But then you have to be a vampire for that to actually benefit you. Yeah. And to be completely fair, being a vampire, an immortal and all that, if you could live with the moral quandary of being a vampire, well, there you go. There you go. So Wood Elves versus Greenskins. This is a matchup that is favored for Greenskins. However, I'm sure Hadres has got some tricks up his sleeve. Han Samurai most likely will come in with Biggins spam. Biggins and Spider Riders and Grom, and you just cackle and just, outvalue them across the board. That's typically how it's done. 40k Battle Report channels. Ooh, there's a bunch. Tabletop Titans is probably my favorite one right now. They do all their replays like live. They have amazing production quality. They have a great team over there. And they also play competitive lists too, which I like. Like their lists are generally pretty competitive and they come from like that background. So Tabletop Titans is really good if you guys haven't seen them. Yeah, that's probably the one I would recommend most. I mean, there's a bunch of old school ones. I watch mini wargaming sometimes for like Age of Sigmar stuff. Rerolling ones is really good for Age of Sigmar. Tabletop Tactics is fun. Winter's SEO is one of my favorite of all time. Hellstorm Wargaming is another one I watch from time to time. Yeah, a lot of great channels out there. A Pierogi Vampire. Ooh. That's some serious stuff right there. Lore of Light and live action role play around as a Templar. Yeah, Mini Wargaming is like the OG one. That's the one that has Dave on it, the Mark of Dave, the true world eater. Yeah. Mountain Miniature Games also does Warhammer Fantasy Battle Reports still. So they do 8th edition Fantasy Battle Reports, which is really cool. I believe they're called Mountain Miniature Games, I think. Yeah. There's a lot of great channels for Bat Reps. Yeah, Mini Wargaming is more fluff for sure. It's more like casual, which is totally fine. All right, so it looks like both players are about ready. We'll be getting into this match here in just a second. Remember, this is the best of 5 grand finals. Both these players can rest easily. They both already qualified, which is cool. Definitely, it always sucks to see someone lose, like after getting so far, but nonetheless, they both qualified, which is great. So I know Dave's Chaos Army. Dave inspired me to create a World Eaters army of my own, which I am. So I have a huge Black Legion army. I paint all my Chaos Space Marines in Black Legion scheme, including my World Eater. So they have like a Black Legion scheme, but with like some red and corn symbolism on them and things like that. So they're a little bit different. But yeah, I got a World Eaters army I'm working on, which is great. Which is great indeed. Gallahan says, counterpoint in defense of Lore Metal, rather than making gold outright, make expensive materials that have important tech engineering applications. There you go. Yeah, you could like advance civilization and advance medical technology through Lore of Metal. See? Gallahan knows how to think there. That's some good stuff. I actually just watched the Book of Troyer. Oh my god, if you guys haven't seen the Book of Troyer, that is probably one of my favorite channels. His lore videos are so goddamn good. Like the narration, the editing, the storytelling. Like, in the Book of Troyer just put out a video on Vlad, I think, and was it something else? I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, that channel is so good if you haven't seen it. It's a Warhammer Fantasy lore channel. All right, so we're here. This is a matchup that initially, upon the launch of the DLC, Wood Elf players felt quite comfortable in, but then the Greenskins evolved, and it became a very tough matchup for them. But Hadres going here with a tree Death Star. Check this shit out. Durthu, Optimus Pine here. We have a Tree Man. We have Aerial with Soul Stealer Blob, it looks like. Whoa, no Soul Stealer, just Apotheosis? What planet are we on? And it looks like, so we have a Branch Wraith with Earthblood, Durthu with Flock of Doom, and Aerial with Apotheosis. That is a weird, weird build from Hadres, which I am really, really enjoying. And now for the forces of the Vanguard, we have Lost Sylvan Knights and a bunch of Skirmish Cavalry of Glade Riders. Huh. This is some amazing stuff. Very, very standard here for Han Samurai. Actually, a little bit off meta. It's either Stone Trolls or Biggins. They both work. I think Biggin spam is a little bit more steady, but actually against the trees, the Stone Trolls might be better. So we got Goblins, Quad Stone Troll, Orc Shaman with Brainbuster and Fist of Gork, Grom the Paunch, and a bunch of Greenskin Skirmishers. That's pretty much it. So, you know, one of the two meta variations against Wood Elves. I personally like Biggin spam a little bit more, but the Stone Trolls are still raid bosses, which is quite nasty. Yes, yes. So, who do you guys want to win? Who are you rooting for? I feel like whenever I ask that question and Greenskins are on the table, I always feel bad because everyone's just going to root against Greenskins these days. But, got to give some big props to Han Samurai playing all through the night, and here he is. No more messing around. Let's do it to it, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great, man. So, Goblin Wolf Riders. Some light skirmishing here with the Glade Riders and the Hagbane Tips. And we do get the Lost Sylvan Knights in the bushes. Lurking, trying to ambush the Greenskins. Lost Sylvan Knights are quite meaty, and what I really, really like about the combo here is that we do have Aerial, and Aerial does have the Berry Wine to heal up the Lost Sylvan Knights, giving them a massive amount of durability. Oh, don't take this fight! Don't do it, Hadres! It's a trap! So Hadres charges in, but now the Fist of Gork is going to go down and Brainbuster and other magic. And those Lost Sylvan Knights are going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Oh, is he going to get away without taking too much? The Forest Goblins not quite breaking here or being terror-routed because Grom the Paunch gives immune to psychology to them, which is so goddamn good. And now it looks like some of the Stags might be paying the price, although he doesn't lose any models so far. He does damage up those Forest Goblin Spider Riders and also baited out some magic. So at the end of the day, I feel like that wasn't the worst engagement in the world for the Wood Elves. However, a couple of the Great Stag Knights are still kind of lost in the forest there as Grom the Paunch continues to hunt them down. And now they're actually starting to lose models outright. So it looks like we did lose one model. And now there's going to be a bit of a blob fight as the Tree Men do move in. The Tree Men unfortunately do magic damage, and Stone Trolls do have magic resistance, so a little bit of a crappy situation there for the hardwood. However, Goblin Wolf Chariot's completely crumped. So yeah, the Sylvan Knights have killed the Wolf Chariot, a Spider Rider, and now they're going to be getting the Berry Wine, which will improve their vigor and also give them a lot of HP back. So yeah, the big pit fight is underway here. I'm really surprised to not see Soul Stealer, though. I feel like Soul Stealer would be super good with this style of play. However, I think Hadres wants to invest in some other tools here. Fanatic's going down, and that's very punishing against the blob fight. Lost Sylvan Knights, their leadership is wavering. They're at -14, and the big problem with losing the Lost Sylvan Knights here is that the Greenskins might be able to chase them down, although the Glade Riders should be able to cover. Now, Sylvan Knights are broken, but so too are the Stone Trolls. A mass exodus of the leadership here for the Greenskins. Stone Trolls run here, so 3 units of Stone Trolls getting broken off by Optimus Pine and Bumblebee here. They're getting some work in. We need to come up with a better name. I mean, Optimus Pine and Starscream. That would be a Decepticon. Anyways, Tree Men fighting. A really, really nice Brainbuster going down back here. Does really bust up the Glade Riders, but then it also looks like an Awakening of the Wood. He's able to nail the Greenskin Skirmishers as well. Lost Sylvan Knights are back. Looks like they're going to be charging into the Stone Trolls here. Should do okay, especially on the charge. They do have a nice little charge bonus of, I think, what is it, like 50 or something? No, 76. Stone Trolls, though, and their magic resist might be able to hold firm. It looks like 2 of the Glade Riders are back. The other 2 did get punished, but I think it was worth it because it did save the Lost Sylvan Knights, kind of maintaining that very, very powerful unit here. So far, we have a pretty close battle. Nice Flock of Doom. The AoE from the Awakening of the Wood, aka the Acorn of the Ages, coming in from Aerial, is actually a free spell. And the Lost Sylvan Knights holding very well here. Ooh, good Scroll of Shielding from Hadres, giving that resistance. Now, Han Samurai, though, is going to be getting a second win. He is going to be getting the Stone Trolls back, and the Stone Trolls should be able to make their merry way over here and go after the Tree Men and some of these other units. And yeah, it looks like the Trolls are getting busted up once again. Optimus Pine as well as Aerial, man. A very, very tough formation to crack. Aerial does cause terror. She's not unbreakable anymore. She did get nerfed recently. And it looks like the Glade Riders did commit to a fight against Grom the Paunch and these other units. And of course, they will lose that fight, but they are buying some time and distracting the missiles and skirmishers and various other units. So now Ariel going full Angry Butterfly and is going to be rotating outwards to go after what appears to be the Orc Shamans. Yeah, Orc Shamans. They're on the run, man. Not having a good time. Here comes Durthu. For the Wood Elves, it's very important to make sure that they keep their army together. Obviously, the Greenskin Force has a lot of ways of isolating prey, picking them off, and really getting value in that way. You know, Ariel, though, better be careful. Grom the Paunch is going in. She's not unbreakable anymore. She has amazing leadership, but still can be broken. Sylvan Knights are broken as well. And it looks like the Greenskins might be seizing some sort of an advantage here. There needs to be an Earthblood or something to heal up Ariel, because this damage certainly cannot be permitted. The Queen of the Forest is not happy about this. 2,500. If this was old school Unbreakable Ariel, I would be like, okay, it's probably going to be totally fine. But in this case, a little bit of a scary situation. Let's see what the players are saying. Good luck, have fun on both sides. And it looks like Sword of Daith going down. Pretty nice AoE. Stone Trolls, though, are currently immune to psychology because of Grom. You see, that's what's so crazy about Grom. It's not just his combat and durability, but the fact that he gives ITP to all these Stone Trolls is crazy. Like, they would have 100% terror-routed this blob if not for Grom the Paunch. So now you have to break them the old-fashioned way. So this is the classic kind of competitive greenskin tactic of withdrawing your Stone Trolls, and now what's going to happen is Han Samurai is going to just use his cheap skirmish cavalry to obey the attacking rule while taking safe engagements with the Stone Trolls. Although it looks like he's not really abusing it that much, he's actually re-engaging the Stone Trolls almost instantly. What you really see from a lot of top-level greenskin players is that the Stone Trolls just go sit while your skirmishers shoot, you regenerate for like 3 minutes while you waste all of your ammunition, and then you go back in and really give, you know, your opponent the dirty. Ariel's very close to going down. It looks like the Acorn of the Ages is going to be popped here, just to kind of get it off before she potentially breaks. Grom the Paunch definitely needs to be taken out by Optimus Pine. He needs to get in there and shut down that Chungus from, you know, obviously giving all this ITP. The immune to psychology is so freakishly strong. Yeah, looks like Wood Elves are falling a little bit behind as Ariel breaks, but the Stone Trolls have broken several times. 3 times is the charm. If a unit breaks 3 times, I'm pretty sure it shatters after 3. So Durthu plus the Branch Wraith, I mean, still a pretty strong single entity squad here. A lot of it really depends on the Earthbloods. Is there still going to be big, juicy Earthbloods to heal these characters up? Ooh, the Branch Wraith is close to breaking 8 leadership. It just stabilizes there, but Grom the Paunch coming in. Going to be trying to push that Branch Wraith away, which is very smart. Get rid of the healing, use your anti-infantry, and ooh, the Wraith just got nailed there by the Chariot of Grom the Paunch. And it's starting to look like this is going to be a greenskin victory. It's a very, hard matchup for the Wood Elves. It's winnable, but very tough. The Stone Trolls, the durability, Grom the Paunch, all that stuff. And the Stone Trolls will be able to take the trees to Pound Town. They have 110-something weapon strength, if I'm not mistaken, with amazing AP values. It looks like Sword of Daith may be going down there, or Flock of Doom on the blob. But that is going to be it, as the trees are dragged down. And now, my friends, we're 1-1 here in this series. Hell yeah. We got a good series on our hands. Yeah, Grom is very, scary. I love the build by Hadres, though. I thought it was very, creative and cool. Yeah, great value on Durthu. Treeman also got... Oh, man, that Treeman got dumped on. Holy shit. Only 397 value out of that Treeman. That sucks. But, man, Optimus Pine did great. Skirmishers did okay. And the Sylvan Knights almost paid for themselves. Not quite. 700 gold short. But they did some work. They occupied a lot of attention. Yeah, this is one of 2 variants. Big and spam or Stone Troll Goblin spam. You know, they're both viable. All right. 1-1 here in this best of 5. And now, it looks like the game was going pretty good for the Elves in the beginning, for sure. Okay. Now we are on single bands. Until rubber match. Until game 5, then pick 3. Okay. So just letting the players know the circumstances of the pick and ban system. And let's do it to it, man. Just like the Transformers movie, yeah. Pretty close. Pretty close indeed. Grom is a monster, man. He's so tough to kill. Because, like, the trees were trying to get to Grom, but he was hiding behind the Stone Trolls, and the Stone Trolls were immune to psychology, which were just, like, beating the brakes off those trees. Yeah. Yeah, this is a Falcon build from Samurai. I use the same one. Yeah, it's very strong. Very strong indeed. So, let's see what the players do now. Now we're on to single picks and bans. This really does complicate things, for sure. Because in a best of 5, if you did... he's asking. So in best of 5, after you both do 1 double ban, you move on to single bans. So pick 1, ban 1. Just explaining to Han Samurai here. And then if they go to game 5, then they do the traditional, pick 3-1. I'm pretty sure that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but for, I think I saw Jay Phoenix in chat. Is that how you guys and gals did the picks and bans in the World Championship for best of 5? It was the same, right? Like, pick and ban 2 for the initial games, and then pick and ban 1 for the rest? Pretty sure that's how you guys did it. How would I nerf greenskins? Okay, so I would add maybe 25 to 50 gold on Spider Riders. I would maybe give Stone Trolls a 50 gold increase. And then I would take off the melee attack on the Lucky Banner. And I think that might solve your problem, to be honest. Yeah. Take your time. Cool, so he's up to date on that now. But I'm pretty sure for the World Championship, it was the same format. You guys want the Beastmen? Ooh, Beastmen. The dreaded Beastmen. So you have to, when you get into a best of 5, you really have to kind of start planning ahead, seeing what your opponent has picked. Okay, so Hadres has played Wood Elves, and he's played Tomb Kings. What are those 2 factions good against? Then you can, like for Samurai here, picking Skaven, and then one of your bad matchups has already been played, you then just ban their other bad matchup, and like Skaven would be a very strong pick here for Han Samurai, right? Zero rush, brother. You saying sorry? Yeah, no worries, Samurai, man. Take your time. We did pick in 2 bans all the way through, but players could also choose maps. Interesting. So I'll have to reevaluate that for my future ECLs, how I want to do that. And typically in best of 5s I've done for the first game, they do pick and double ban. But yeah, Samurai here going vampire counts and banning high elves here. So we get some vampire count action. Haven't really seen that much today. At all, actually. But Jay, what was your opinion on that? Did you think that was a good system? Do you think it was better than the way we're doing it right now? I'd be curious to hear some feedback. So after I finish this ECL season, I'm going to be doing one last Swiss league to say farewell to Warhammer 2. It'll probably run up until whenever Game 3 launches. So that's the plan. So if you guys didn't play in my Swiss league before, it's a pretty fun format. You play offline, play 1 game a week, and it's a pretty decent little prize. What would Celestial Hurricanum do in Total War Warhammer? It would probably have a bound chain lightning effect. It would increase your winds of magic, and would probably be a mount option. Yes. Yeah, so there's a couple ways of doing it. Couple ways of doing it. Celestial Hurricanum, I think it'll be getting added for sure. Because in tabletop, the Empire actually had basic battle wizard lords. So they had like a lord slot that was a generic wizard. So I can see them getting those plus like the Celestial Hurricanum. He left Dark Elf open, but he banned High Elves. So yeah, it's a bit of a, I mean, maybe he's got some schemes here. This would be a big upset because Dark Elves are pretty favored against them. But even though Han Samurai had to do a pick 1, ban 1, Hadres will have to do the exact same thing next game. So Han Samurai will have the option to return the favor. And then from there, they would go to a rubber match, essentially. Jay Phoenix says, turn, well, the map choice was really nice, and that was the biggest takeaway. I'd like to see more in tournaments. Whether you pick 1 or 2 doesn't matter too much. I'm a game 3 and 4. Yeah. Jay, really appreciate that. This is the last ECL until game 3, most likely. I don't know. I don't have enough when I get a release date, I can give you a more informed opinion on this. We might do another ECL after the Warhammer, whenever we get a Warhammer 2 DLC, like the last one. So I'm not sure. Jay. I will certainly let you all know. But I wanted to do another Swiss League. Swiss League is cool because people who have like really busy schedules can still play in a tournament. So, I would still do tournaments, but it just would be less structured, like in terms of a long form event. I'm having enough trouble getting people to finish the Legendary Lords tournament right now, so yeah. Yeah, Stone Trolls are hands down the best trolls in the game. Hands down. They are very, very good. So let's see what Han Samurai brings here. This is a very hard matchup for the for ye old vampires. Hadres, a lot of people don't know this, but Hadres actually, long before he was known as the King of Skaven, he was a Dark Elf main, and he was a very, very good Dark Elf main. So this is one of his other really strong factions. I might be doing a Legendary Lords tournament stream either tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure, but there will be one. Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. Han Samurai has a couple options. You know, going for a ground-based army is, you know, often safer. You can bring the Von Karstein Vampire Lord to get the Storm of the Night to punish Air Force. Jay Phoenix, I talked to Satsuma about that, I think, and depending on how my wrist recovery goes, yes, I will be casting those. So
I'm leaving.
Where are you going?
Away.
You taking Wookiee?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm stuck with Wookiee.
Oh. That's all you care about when I said I'm leaving?
No, of course not.
God damn it, husband.
Anna says hello.
Where are the car keys?
We were talking about all the delicious Polish food earlier.
Yeah, I thought I heard something about the kielbasa necklace.
Yeah, we're going to make a necklace for the Kislev stream, and I'm going to like wear it and just take bites off it while we're playing. It's going to be super epic.
I'm just gonna go.
She's fleeing the scene. All right, Ice Power saying, Turin, my first time ever was on your stream. My 2 wins on a King of the Hill was ended in this matchup against Hadres. Ah, fair play. Fair play indeed. Here we are. The battle is underway. Certainly going to be a fun one. I'm very excited to see this matchup that we normally don't see. You know, most Vampire Count players will avoid High Elves and Dark Elves like the plague. I asked if she was taking Wookiee. Yeah, I was hopeful that she would spare me. Oh my god, is that a Charybdis? Is that a wild-ass Charybdis pick? Oh man, it's happening. All right, guys. Here we are. For the forces of the vampires, we do have the Corpse Guard, Necromancer on a Corpse Guard as well, the Claw of Nagash, we have a Vampire of Death on a Hellsteed, and the Lord is going to be a Von Karstein Vampire Lord, obviously trying to secure the skies. The ground-based army is going to be a combination of chaff units, skeletons, and Graveguard Great Weapons to deal with Black Guard and elite troops, which you often do see in this matchup. Very, very cool build. Yeah, I dig it, man. I like all the kind of variety of characters. Oh, look at this. He even has the Gaze of Nagash here on the Necromancer. Yeah, very, very cool build. Okay, I'm digging it. And now for the forces of the Dark Elves, we have a Marathi Death Star of sorts. We have the Khanate Assassins with their Web of Shadows. We have a Sorceress of Death with Spirit Leech, and then Marathi on foot, Blades of the Blood Queen, Sisters of Singing Doom, the Helabroni, the chillest of all the dudes in the realm in the back, Black Guard on either flank, and Corsairs in the middle just to shoot flyers. Interesting. That is a Charybdis. A wild Charybdis. Oh, Piotr, don't you worry. Don't you worry. I've been taking care of Lady Turin very well these past few days. She actually just got wisdom tooth surgery, so they pulled her wisdom tooth, and I have been running to the store, getting her ice cream, everything she needs, and, you know, making sure that all is good in the realm, so... All is good. The Charybdis. Cyber Pansy's like, I've returned for the Charybdis in your hour of need. The mighty Charybdi. Marathi, of course, Soul Stealer, and looks like the Wand of Crydon, or is that an actual Doombolt? Looks like it's actually Doombolt. Let's go ahead and check. Yep, no, it's the Wand. Wand is pretty good. You can use it against infantry and single entities. It depends. Does some work. Get your Top Gun bike and ride after her. I used to ride the Top Gun motorcycle. I used to legit have that. The 1985 Kawasaki GPZ. I mean, he had the turbo. I don't think I had the turbo, but, you know, I did have the Top Gun motorcycle. Yeah. Those were the days. Back when I used to lift weights. I used to just ride on the California highway with my tank top on and my motorcycle like an absolute idiot. Usually I wore my leather jacket and stuff, but a couple times the inner bro could not be resisted. All right, so here comes the Dark Elf force. It's a pretty ridiculous looking army here. Marathi, really, really good. I mean, anything that comes in to fight in that box is going to be punished by both Soul Stealer as well as her debuffs. So she has one debuff that lowers melee attack and melee defense, and the other one lowers melee attack and I think something else. But total of negative 18 melee attack coming in. Now, the biggest factor for Han Samurai to get the victory here in this game is going to be the breath attacks. So the breath attacks coming in from the Von Karstein Lord, very important here. But Man, Canade Assassins are such a good deterrent against air forces. Like, this single Canade Assassin is going to be such a thorn in the side of the Vampiric Air Force. I almost wonder if using the Spirit Leeches on the Assassin is worth it. Just to free up the Von Karstein Lord, like maybe just like diving him right now with these two characters. Hadres better get back. Okay, the Canade Assassin going to be attacked by the Vampiress here. She's looking quite pissed off here. And yeah, the Assassin's going to force her back, and she's going to take a crossbow bolt, most likely in the back. Now, breath attacks, you probably want to wait until you... ooh, it's going to take a volley from the handbows as well. A very early zombie summon. I don't know if I agree with that. I felt like that zombie summon was too early. Granted, maybe he's just trying to optimize his breath attack, so let's see what Han Samurai does here. Here comes the big breath. Oh, what kind of damage do we get? It tickled the pickle, but not the full pickle. That was not great. Just a little bit of damage against the Witch Elves here. Took out maybe 9 models. And the zombies are, you know, occupying the Dark Elf force, but so far, I would say Hadres is in a very commanding position. He needs to get the Grave Guard in there. He needs to get the Mortis Engine kind of grinding. Move forward the army as one and live long and prosper. So we'll see. The Cryptus, a very interesting pick here. I mean, it is an anti-large monster. It can't heal like... I still feel like the Chill of Santar would be better for the breath attacks against Grave Guard and the Frostbite and just its general, you know, tankiness with regeneration. But, I mean, the Cryptus is, it's a cool-looking beast. I think Cryptus are such... Their tabletop models are also very cool. Okay, he's going for another zombie summon. Interesting. Really being super conservative here. The Black Knights in the back are sitting idle. Probably want to see them get involved as well. Maybe he's just trying to force Hadres to take these, like, awkward engagements or maybe stagger his army in a bit of a weird way. Overall, I mean, I feel like the zombie summons are being wasted. Move in the Grave Guard, move in your cavalry. Then you drop the zombie summons while the fighting is happening. Well, there's still zombies kind of dragging through these forces, and it is kind of screwing up the angling here. So here comes the Blades of the Blood Queen, as well as the Black Guard. They're all moving forward. The Vampiric host getting ready to fight. Blades of the Blood Queen will obviously dominate any infantry the Vampire Counts can bear, put up to fight here. But they're first going to have to battle some zombies. Zombies will do a little bit of damage. You can see a little HP tickle. And Hadres is so on point with his dodges this game. That one still hurt a little bit, but it would have been way worse if he didn't dodge that. Like, he has not failed to dodge, like, a single breath attack today. Sorry if you hear my stomach growling. I hunger. Hunger for Italian food. Meatball sandwich, minestrone soup. It's time, man. So another zombie summon coming down. I'm going to be dropping on the back here onto the handbows, but they're in guard mode and they're shooting quite happily. A good dive right here going after the Canade Assassin. I would actually like to see maybe the Von Karstein Lord get in there and help. I don't think there's anything that can keep him on the ground except the Rampage from the Witch Elves, and it looks like, oh, the Witch Elves are coming. Okay, so you definitely want to get back now. Now, the Mortis Engine 100% needs to get involved. The Blades of the Blood Queen actually taking a bit of a hammering from the Grave Guard because the Grave Guard were busy fighting zombies, and now the Mortis Engine is draining. It's hitting all the elite infantry, and the Skeleton Warriors have gotten into the backfield. More Grave Guard coming about, and the Haggard Corpse Carts, for whom the Corpse Cart tolls. It's moving in. Good usage of the Charybdis going after the Claw of Nagash. Claw of Nagash should be able to outmaneuver it, and obviously the Claw of Nagash really needs to stay in combat. Otherwise, these elite Dark Elf infantry are just going to be the end of the world. A good breath attack. That was probably the best breath attack we've seen so far from Han Samurai. He did nail the Blackheart Corsair handbows. And the Vampiress is back up in the sky. Is she going to be going after the Canade Assassin? Definitely should. And the Assassin definitely not going to win that duel. She's pretty meaty. 60-35. She does have the advantage of getting the charge and Spirit Leech as well. So many factors going for the duel there. Now the Von Karstein Vampire Lord landing here. Where did that Mortis Engine go? Did that die? No, it didn't. I was like, oh my god, did the Mortis Engine die already? Canade Assassin very low. Shaken. Getting him out of the battle is huge, because it actually gives the vampires a pretty substantial advantage in terms of like Air Force harassment. It allows the dragon to fly around freely without being shot by the Canade Assassin and constantly poisoned. And the Grave Guard trading very well, largely due to the Mortis Engine and the breath attacks. And here comes the Wand of Coridon. It is going to be going down from ye old Marathi. And there it goes, a pretty direct hit. Did some solid damage. Marathi trying to get over there and take out the Claw of Nagash. Can't remember the last time we've seen a Soul Stealer. There must have been a couple Soul Stealers that I did miss. I would say the Von Karstein Vampire Lord can get a little bit more aggressive here. Here we do have the Vampiress. Ooh, a nice catch by Hadres. He does get the Charybdis to catch the rampaging Vampiress, and now she's going to be absolutely destroyed by the Charybdis. Charybdis is good at one thing, and it's chewing down targets on large mounts of any sort. And down goes the Vampire Caster. Big catch right there. Now, Mortis Engine's still draining, but the Mortis Engine is also being taken out. Han Samurai is ahead on the balance of power, but killing the Mortis Engine and the Vampire Caster are two very big plays on the path back to success here. And I have to say, it's going to be kind of tough for the Von Karstein Vampire Lord to deal with the Charybdis as well as Marathi. Those are two very, very tough targets. Very, very tough targets. In the back, we do get the Black Knights. Black Knights chase down the Blackheart Corsair handbows, and looking back into the epicenter of combat, the Graveguard are wearing down the Dark Elf Infantry. Soul Stealers are also another big liability. I don't know how many Hadres has used or how many he's been saving. I think I saw one earlier on. But a lot of the magic being used has been the Spirit Leeches from the Sorceress of Death, who probably is honestly going to wave off. Von Karstein Vampire Lord on its way back in. It looks like Han Samurai is going to win this one. This is actually a matchup that's pretty good for the Dark Elf. So Han Samurai has had some good play this game, clearly, to get this one, with the second Vampire Caster, I think, being a big MVP. So Vampire Lord moving in. It looks like the Sorceress is broken, so now what you would want to do for Samurai is run away, get away from the Charybdis, and just chase the Sorceress once it breaks out of the formation. Marathi just got to kind of bump and grind, really. Nice Soul Stealer. I mean, that almost looked like point of no return, but Soul Stealer is that good. And it's able to really hit pretty much everything here. Nice cycle charging from the big Dragon Lord. Trying to break the leadership of the Charybdis, which has 3 chevrons on it. So this Charybdis is pretty meaty. Could this be a comeback for the Druchii? I mean, if the Von Karstein Lord continues to get his bread buttered like this, it very well could be. Here comes the wand. It's going to be coming down from the sky. Will it junk on the head of the Von Karstein Lord? Oh, the Matrix dodge! He pulls back up and dodges that quite happily. Now charging in against Marathi once again. He does get some nice damage there, but the balance of power kind of ebbing back. I mean, if we do see one more Soul Stealer, stranger things have happened, man. Marathi's pretty powerful, but she's also getting kind of low. I think this game's over. I think that Han Samurai is going to be going up, and he was at the disadvantage here on this pick, of course. But regardless, kind of a feel-good event today. Both of these players will essentially qualify for the grand finals, since it is a double qualifier today. So that is a good feeling regardless. GG, well played! And that is going to be a vampiric victory against the Dark Elves. As far as Marathi's value, probably pretty big. 2,300, Candidate Assassin kind of got shut down that game, actually. Mortis Engine did its piece, but, you know, Hadres had some good grabs. Samurai's Graveguard probably were the MVPs. 1,100 value there, 800 here, 1,400. 1,000 value on 3 Graveguard is huge. Breath attacks were good. Hadres' dodge play was very strong, but, you know, the third breath attack was really money, too. Great play by Samurai. Great play there. And by Hadres. It was a good match. All right. 2-1. So here we are. Hope the Fish Hydra entertained. It certainly did. We enjoyed seeing the Charybdis. And honestly, the Charybdis did okay. He killed some shit. He certainly killed some shit. So now we will go ahead and do the Troll Country. So we'll go to a bit of a smaller map here. No, actually, we can save the Troll Country for later. There's another map I was thinking about doing earlier, which I couldn't remember what it was. My old brain. Where art thou? Oh, yeah, I didn't get the Charybdis value for you guys. I'm sorry, I was so focused on some other stuff here. So we'll do Southern Chaos Wastes map set. Hadres, pick one, ban one. All right. So now Hadres gets a single ban. If it goes to game 5, then they do the fancy. Pick 3, ban 1, etc. We do have the Southern Chaos Wastes for our next map. We have a 2-1 series here. If Samurai wins this, he will be winning today. Yep, smart there. Vampire counts already got picked. Hadres has an easy decision here. He goes Skaven and bans Wood Elves. Easy decision. Because Vampire counts are the other hard matchup for Skaven, one of the hardest ones. So banning Vampire counts there. Or Vampire counts haven't been played. He has an easy decision. So I'm curious to see what Samurai will pick. I kind of suspect a wild Vampire Coast pick. Maybe an Empire pick. Empire is pretty good against Skaven on like these kind of open maps. So yeah, a couple of cool choices. Cool choices for sure. The Beastmen versus... You guys want Nakai and the Beastmen? I don't think it's going to happen here in this game. Yeah, I feel like the Charybdis needs a little something. Maybe just give it a breath attack. Maybe it could shoot water. You know, like a water jet. I don't know. Yeah, the Graveguard were the big winners. They grinded that army down hardcore. So now Samurai here is on the pick. We'll see what he's got. The prize awaits them both. Grand Final should be quite a bit of fun this year. Very scary competition. So both Hadres as well as Samurai have qualified and will be joining this list of champions. So they'll be all coming in and playing in the grand finals at some point in the near future, probably sometime in the next month. It takes some time. When you're coordinating with 8 people who have busy schedules, it can be very hard to get everyone on board at the same time. A weakness to water, yes, of course. All right, back to the main battle here. Hey, yeah, we passed 500 likes. Look at that. Thank you guys so much for your support. Nakai into Blastoise. Oh my god, that'd be so funny. And I played the hell out of Pokemon when I was a kid. I had a pretty big card collection. I had like so many of the old valuable cards, but I gave them to my younger brother, and I have no idea what he ended up doing with them. Probably could have made a couple $1,000 selling those, if not more. What if the Cribdis was the only... I mean, yeah, imagine if they had naval battles and the Cribdis could just like swim under the boats and tear them apart. That'd be pretty epic. Samurai thinking about his pick. Clearly a very thoughtful man. Scheming what he will do against Skaven. Could go Norska. Chaos. Oh yeah, I love me a Chaos game. So the Dark Gods have come on the Southern Chaos Wastes against the Skaven. Chaos vs. Skaven is a matchup I really enjoy. I've always enjoyed this one. It's very fun. So Hadres is on the ropes right now, but he is with his strongest faction. So, I'm sure he's good to go. What are your build predictions? Well, Chaos can go very wide. Marauder, Forsaken. My favorite way to play against Skaven is Marauders, Forsaken, a couple Hound units, double Exalted Hero on Manticore with Warp Chicken, and then you just get like Marauder Horsemen to fill out your army. It's very strong. And a couple of those Marauders should be great weapons just in case they go Storm Vermin, which people do nowadays. It's kind of changing a little bit. So there's a couple ways to play it. Skaven, I'm not sure. Hadres has some very interesting builds like Double Chieftain. I mean, he's got all kinds of schemes up his rat sleeve there. So we'll see what he decides to do. Sigvald is very good here too, but I actually like Warp Chicken. I like Warp Chicken a lot in this matchup. His Lore Magic is quite good, so you get your caster all in one, and that allows you to go with, Manticores, Exalted Heroes, all that kind of good stuff. Total War Odyssey. Well, don't we already have that in Troy, sort of? Yeah. I never really played Troy. I mean, I think I played the early version of it, but just wasn't super interested. The battles were kind of lackluster to me. But I heard some good things about Troy. Like, I heard some people enjoyed it. How did you guys feel about it? Curious to get some feedback on that. I was going to do a head-to-head in that game with Sparty. We were going to do a head-to-head. Isn't there, like, mythical units and stuff? Just Chariot and Marauder Horse Masters into the sunset. My build prediction. Hey, Clay, that's fair play. Certainly something we could see. Jay Phoenix knows what's up. She's got a good idea about the power of the Warp Chicken. So, Sigvald or Warp Chicken. I'd be really shocked to see Archeon, although Archeon with like a curveball pick with like Burning Head and a couple other things could be very viable. Archeon a little bit more susceptible to being sniped by Skaven though, whereas Warp Chicken is like super hard to bring down. Turin, how is Lady doing with 30, 40k? Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, she's been working on all kinds of art. Lady Turin right now is working on a High Elf piece. She's doing like a High Elf chalice that was commissioned, which is pretty cool. Troy is a gem. Oh, cool. Glad to hear that. Loopy says I played Troy for 5 minutes. Yeah. Gonna really cross the line. Okay. Reading some comments here about Troy. Yeah, I love the setting too. Like the Odyssey, I remember reading that when I was in high school, and like I was in AP English or whatever, and my brain is just not working right now. And we had to read and annotate Troy or the Odyssey, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story a lot. I haven't eaten since like 7 a.m. Going on 3.5 hours of sleep, so my apologies. I'm too weak, Anakin. I'll summon the last of my energy to cast these games, though. Don't worry. It'll be like Palpatine zapping with lightning there. What's my favorite flavor of ice cream? Oh, God. I mean, a good vanilla ice cream is pretty bomb, but like, I like vanilla ice cream inside of like a chocolate like wrap with like peanuts or almonds. Like that composition is so goddamn good. But like, I mean, I don't know. I like most ice creams, to be honest. Strawberry's really good. Yeah. Here we are. Looks like Hadres is ready. Is Samurai, the champion of Clan Han, ready? Here at the ECL Season 6. Yeah, I'm a sucker for like the classic drumstick type situation. The drumsticks are so bomb. With the delicious peanuts and almonds or whatever you decide to get. Yeah, no, I need to eat better for sure. My diet's been just so bad. I used to be really fit. I was a college athlete. I was an all-county sprinter. I was the fastest in my hometown, and now I'm just this potato of a human. How the mighty have fallen. Oh man. I mean, you could probably find bacon ice cream in the States, yeah. Garlic ice cream too is a thing up in Gilroy. They have like a big garlic festival in California, and they like have garlic everything, like garlic wine. It's pretty wild. All right, guys, this is it. This is an important one for the Skaven. Oh my god. Hadres with the quad Warpfire thrower and quad Rattling Gunner. What the hell is this build? Look at this. 4 Warpfire throwers. I think Hadres knows that he's already qualified for the grand final, so he's kind of just like having some fun. But it might also be really good. Oh my god. How is he going to defend all this? He's got 4 Rattling Gunners, 4 Warpfire throwers, Icked Zap Cannon, a couple Wolf Rats, all Skaven Slaves with 1 Stormvermin, and his caster core is going to be Warlock Engineer with Mortis Engine, Plague Priest with Summons, and a Master Assassin. Oh my god. Oh my god, are you guys seeing this? This is insane. This is just pure insanity. Okay, wow. I mean, if this works, I'm going to be so impressed. That is a wild-ass army. So now for the forces of the Dark Gods, much more standard. There's a couple ways to play this. Like I said, one way was Forsaken Marauder, Manticore Power. Spawn Rush is also very viable here, but we have Chaos Marauders backed by 4 Spawn, backed by triple Horsemen, with Chariot Play on the flanks, Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, and a Metal Caster with Plague of Rust, actually. Very interesting. And a couple Hounds as well. All right. Well, Misha, you want to try the garlic the garlic ice cream? Well, if you're ever in California, Lady Turin and I will happily take you there to try some. On us. We'll buy you all the garlic ice cream you could ever dream of. And yes, this is it. I have no idea how this build's going to work. I feel like this is just going to just fall apart so quick for the Skaven. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong so badly. But 4 Warpfire throwers and 4 Rattling Gunners? Holy shit, man. Some magical shit. Maybe this is like some secret build he's been practicing. He's got the Master Assassin with like the Looming Dread here too. So if you guys haven't seen this, you almost never do. The Looming Dread here. Yes. Lower speed, missile resist, and melee defense. So, I mean, if he gets that on like a Chaos Sorcerer and blasts it with 4 Rattling Gunners, it's definitely going to die. My only concern, I mean, in theory, this army covers most of its bases. It can kill infantry, it can kill the spawn, it can kill monsters with Rattling Gunners and Warp Lightning, but it's going to be so hard to protect all that. It's going to be so hard. Hadres also needs to make sure that his Rattling Gunners have like good line of sight, and they're not like obstructed behind the other units. But man, oh man, this is going to be crazy. Turin, try the Chai Ale at Central Coast Brewery in San Luis Obispo. Cody, I've actually been to San Luis Obispo many times. I used to work in San Jose up in Northern California, and my family was in Southern California. So I used to take the coastal route through San Luis Obispo and stop there from time to time. Way, way back in the days of old. Yeah, that feels like a lifetime ago. All right, Hadres is ready. So too is the Mighty Samurai. Regardless, we can all feel good and pat each other on the backs because both players will be qualifying. That was the stipulation of today's tournament, is that the top 2 will be qualifying for the ECL Grand Finals to close out the season and prepare for the championship, which is very exciting stuff. It's great. Chaos are coming. They are, Clay. So Hadres better run some interference. I'm sure Han Samurai, having played all through the night, it's like 8 a.m. in China. I think he played from midnight till 8 a.m. Crazy stuff. he's probably having to do a double take. Maybe splash himself with some water to wake up and see if he's hallucinating with this build that he's facing off against. Warp Lightning Cannon, a very nice shot on the Chaos Sorcerer. A second nice shot on the Sorcerer, able to blast some solid damage. And it looks like the Warp Lightning Cannon, oh, it dodges the Fireball! Oh my god, Hadres dodged the Fireball with his Warp Lightning Cannon. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I really just hope the Rattling Gunners don't get obstructed. I really, really hope that's the case. So the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire down to about 2,900, taking some big damage. Skrulk is going to be dropping summons, obviously, and Sigvald's coming in. Going to be pretty aggressive. Now the Warpfire teams are going to be moving in. Suppression from the Rattling Gunners is in full effect, so they are going to be slowed. And here comes the first batch of fire. Oh, bathing the heretics in, well, not holy fire, but, you know, some sort of fire. And the Marauders get instantly deleted. Storm Vermin in the middle do intercept the Marauders, should be able to hold there. Now the Rattling Gunners are teeing off on the spawn pretty happily. In the back, we do have the Wolf Rats and the Skaven Slaves getting ready to fight an onslaught of the Chaos Warhounds as another wave of Warp Fire pours onto the spawn. On this side, we see something similar. Spawn getting on top of the Warp Fire throwers. Looking a little bit grim here as the Rattling Gunners seem mostly obstructed, and Chariots are now getting into the Rattling Gunners. A big burning head in the backfield from the Chaos Sorcerer Lord roasts a large portion of the Skaven army. So 4 Warp Fire throwers, I think, are all compromised. And it looks like Chaos is going to win this one in a pretty decisive manner. I mean, I don't know. Am I missing something? It seems like the Rattling Gunners are having a big problem shooting. Some of them are ripping shots quite effectively into spawn here, but there's hounds all over. Chaos does get forced back, but Hadres is falling very far behind with the bounce of power. And yeah, looks like Sigvald just getting deep into this army. Just way too much to protect against such an aggressive Chaos army. It was very cool to see in theory. It was certainly nice while it lasted, and a very refreshing way to see the game being played. I think if you cut down 2 Warp Fire throwers and 2 Rattling Gunners and went 2 and 2 and got some like monstrous support like ogres, I think this build could be made to work. But I think with 4/4 plus a Warp Lightning Cannon, it's just way too much to defend. Way too much here. Hadres already saying GG. And again, it's kind of cool. When there's no pressure on, you get to see these kind of avant-garde, unique builds here. And here comes the swarm from the Chaos Warhounds. Yeah, and again, I think that if the build had been a little bit less all-in, it might have worked. But, you know, if you're going to go big, you might as well go big and take a gamble, right? GG, well played, and Han Samurai is going to be today's champion, winning the cash prize. But both players will actually be qualifying. Again, a very feel-good moment, and you guys will be seeing the Lord of Skaven, Hadres, back once again in the Grand Finals. As far as value accrued, nothing beyond the first volleys, really, which is pretty funny, but a very solid build here for Han Samurai. GG, well played. So now, GG, well played. We'll tell the players, GG, guys. Congrats, Samurai. You both qualify as per today's rules for Grand Finals. All right, so now we can go to the Hall of Champions, go to the top 8, and we will imbue their names onto the list. They shall join their friends here. Samurai. Yes, we will give you the fancy text. Samurai here will be Qualifier here. Oh, damn, don't want to move that. Things are just flying all over the place, man. Oh, come on. Give it to me, precious. Technology and I do not get along. And then we have Hadres. Hadres going to be the last one. Putting on a show. And I'm pretty sure if that were for all the marbles, he would have probably played a more serious build, but I think he wanted to take some liberties and try and entertain you guys, which is quite cool. So Hadres will be taking the last spot, with Samurai, of course, being our winner for the day. So congratulations, Hadres. You still do advance, of course. You'll be in the Grand Finals. An excellent day of competition. It was quite a bit of fun. So we can also go to the bracket, update that bad boy for now. And it is going to be Samurai winning today's tournament. So on that note, I want to thank you guys all for joining. Today was a very, very fun event. We had some amazing games, some off-meta builds across the board. I had a blast myself. Not too many Greenskin games, actually. Only like 1 or 2. And they were fun ones. Very, very fun stuff indeed. Congratulations to those who have fallen as well. Pugnobon and Xiphos with a valiant effort. But today, the top 2 spots are taken by Han Samurai and Hadres. A big thanks to all the mods in chat for sticking around over the course of the stream. Appreciate your help. As always, couldn't do it without you guys. Big thanks to everyone who donated as well, including Biofoot. We have the Snickers candy bar. We have, oh man, again, I can't read your names. Tamashu, I think. Edigato for the donation, though. Toe Seeker, Gallahan, Nate Garrett, Wesley Chartrand Bender, Christopher Bruns, Al, Christopher again, Rasta. And we also had one from Lundgren to kick off the stream. Thank you guys so much. And now I'm going to go feast like the heathen kings of old. I'm going to just devour a whole plate of Italian food. My ancestors will sing with joy as I feast on the food of my people. And that is it. So, congratulations one more time to Samurai. Thank you all for joining. Really appreciate you guys. And we'll be back soon. Maybe tomorrow we'll do either a Warcraft stream or I don't know. Something fun will be happening tomorrow. So, stay tuned. I know Hadres probably hungry as well. And that is it. Take care, my friends. We'll see you on the other side. Avoid Nurgle's Plague. And we'll be back with Legendary Lords Tournament on Monday. And yeah, more good stuff during the week. Cheers, guys.